You guys went to the house where Vondel saw the hobgoblin dragged off to. Uh, you did a little bit of a fly around. Quentin, it's very noisy on your end. Can you please mute?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thanks. Um, sorry, you used your familiars to determine that there was a courtyard in the interior of the house area with a bunch of trees and vines curled up around them, with various flowers that looked a lot like the flower that you saw on that one woman's head that turned out that she was given by a white-robed figure. Uh, you snuck your ways inside, discovered the hobgoblin, uh, cured the infection that was starting to take hold in him, and he basically ran off when you told him which way the door was. Uh, you accidentally killed a woman, but then immediately brought her back to life with a revivification. Discovered that she was some kind of initiate to the cult. Tied her up and stashed her inside a cupboard. Then you found yourselves a trap door that led into a basement where a grisly sight waited underneath. You found people in a much advanced stage of crystal infection, with green crystals growing all over them, seemingly tied up and somewhat stuck through by roots at the base of each of the trees. You started using blight against the trees via the root system. With a little trial and error, you managed to rescue several of the people amid the trees. A human, a Durgar, a Dragonborn, a Debaxi, and a Drow. Meanwhile, you managed to kill all of the trees. Various cultists that came to try to stop you. And Kale created himself a green dragon out of one of the fallen trees to help him destroy them. I believe that is where we left off. You had tied up one of the cultists, knocked them out, were sitting on them, and have another one tied up in a cupboard. What would you guys like to do?
All right. We also heard everybody leaving the building.
Yeah, you
correct?
did hear a bunch of
Okay.
people leaving. Yeah.
Okay.
You have people screaming and basically running out.
Yeah.
Who had the symbol? Wasn't it Vondel had the symbol? Or does Phaedra have the symbol?
The symbol or the... Oh, no, that's
Yamat's symbol is Kale.
Yeah, that's Kale.
Yeah, she's gonna... Sure, she's gonna head up toward try to find Kale. Which is not gonna be hard given the fucking giant green dragon next to him.
Phaedra is going to help the survivors down. Yes, we did. We did ask the guy to go get the scale guard.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, and he said
he
he was heading out to do that.
Yeah. So Phaedra's going to the survivors that are down that they help do the thing with. She's going to help bring them out of that dingy cesspool and to the top.
Each of them is in pretty bad shape, but they managed to follow you, seemingly very confused. And
she's very strong. She can carry them too.
As they make their way out from underneath.
Yeah.
Will is gonna assist and basically look over them and like help them out.
Yeah. Give some food and water, but that's they're gonna need more on that still.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if there's any sort of like if anybody has like any gaping wounds or anything on there, like just let me know. Phaedra will expend. We have healing potions. We have healing available to try to get these people healthy, and we will do that.
I'm going to instruct the dragon to try to use his wings to clear out the remaining pollen from the courtyard.
Dragon, still under your controls, begins to do just that. Mighty gusts of its wings start making the pollen plume up into the air and disperse much more readily.
Hey, Kale.
Kale holds up a finger and like says a few things to the dragon and like sort of just points up and tells it to basically fuck off and good luck.
Be free.
No. Basically, he tells it life isn't going to be easy here because this isn't exactly the prime environment for your kind. But I don't think I can turn you back into a tree. Just stay away from any magic dispelling effects. Try to figure out a way to make yourself permanent. And good luck. And he just like tells it, to leave. He's telling it in Draconic.
It snorts and leaves with that.
Phaedra watches the dragon
Yes,
like
Father.
fly off. Well, I hope that won't be a problem for future us, but okay.
I mean, I treated it nicely.
Yeah,
and,
you
and
did.
I would have probably showed it like, this is technically not your mom, but you're a dragon now. That's Tiamat. I'm kind of like her, in with her right now. So be a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
And then
It's
he's
more-
gonna.
It's more the track record with dragons in the group. It's like,
I
Alright.
mean, Kale feels that it'll like him because he's his daddy, kinda. Maybe they eat their fathers. I don't know. It doesn't
Oh,
matter.
It's like a praying mantis.
oh god.
But
Okay.
yeah, he'll brush the pollen off of himself and step back inside. Now that the dragon has been sent on its merry way.
I'm gonna wait outside front for the scale guard. Do you mind if I hold that symbol so they don't just immediately attack me?
I could do that, I suppose. And there's a door like here, right? Like this is a door.
Yeah. This is just a base outline of your fighting area. I was mostly using Theater of the Mind.
Yeah, so he would go wait outside for the scale guard and direct them to where we are.
I guess I'll
Sure
go
thing.
with since I have the translator, Phaedra will say.
Yeah, that might be
Well,
good.
I
That
just
might be
remembered that.
helpful.
Yeah! A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, you have a dragon. You don't need translation.
You
have a
dragon.
dragon.
You don't need to.
Yeah, no.
You don't need to translate with a dragon.
I mean, I set the dragon off. He's gone.
Oh,
I told him to
that's true.
go. I told him to go. Live his
Oh,
life.
well, yeah, Tobias was getting coffee.
ah,
Ah, fair.
Yeah.
The dragon has been set free.
yes. What could go wrong with setting free a dragon?
Yeah, that's what Phaedra looked up and said that's a problem for... I hope that's not a problem for future us.
Look at a solo death dragon.
Nothing ever goes wrong when we let the dragon go free, right?
Have we ever
No.
let a dragon go? Wait, yeah, we let the white dragon go free, so that never...
And we let a red dragon go free. Kale is just collecting a dragon harem. Don't worry.
oh. Okay.
I don't know.
No,
about
no,
that.
it's not a harem in that sense. It's
A
just a
menagerie?
collection of dragons.
Do you mean a menagerie?
A menagerie. There you go.
Because a
A
menagerie.
I mean,
flight.
I don't
He's
care.
collecting-
Do what you
he's-
want to do with your dragons, Kale.
He's collecting a flight of dragons. He's got to get
Yeah.
one of each color. It's sort of like
yeah,
that,
he's even,
a
he's even
set.
technically got a nice dragon with him.
So yet another instance where you're trying to taste the rainbow. I got it.
Yeah, it's all about
especially-
different
especially
colors.
if it's the chromatic dragons, because that is tasting the rainbow there.
hmm
He's just gonna see Tiamat someday and go, "I want to lick her."
Oh
Ugh.
God. Brimstone and despair.
Hmm. I mean, he's probably going to go die and go to like some layer of heck, so maybe he'll end up down there. Maybe he'll go hang out with Tiamat for eternity.
Amanet's gonna turn to Will. So should we toss the place while they're out doing the guard thing? See if you can find anything interesting.
Yeah.
Let's go. Anybody else is welcome to come. She'll
Yeah.
she'll yell behind.
I'll come along.
Looting allowed.
Oh, looting a lot. Yay.
Oh,
Yep.
join.
Yeah.
Cal just like Cal looks
I'll loot
disappointed. And he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, fair. They're up to shady shit. I have to
Yeah, Amanet's
talk."
like, that stuffy little dwarf's not here, so yeah, find anything interesting. It's yours, finders keepers.
Mm-hmm.
The way Shori thought was like, if screaming happens, I can dimension door us in. Fine.
All right. Give me 1 second. Okay. So you have a few minutes at least to check around the place before the guards show up. Anything in particular you're looking for, or just want some recap of any room that looks interesting?
There was an upper floor.
Yeah, there was another floor, and that's where I'm interested in.
All right.
That's what I'm going
So
for.
when you guys find a set of stairs to climb and go up, you discover that you're essentially in a dormitory area. There are several sections that seem to have like latrine area, like the little closed off sections that lead to a, basically a big wide pipe that can facilitate pooping, and having it going all the way down towards the basement or possibly a sewer system, depending. But most of it seems to be a big wide dorm area with bunks set up and little chests for clothes, for clothes or personal possessions. Most of which are like white robes and the whatnot. Definitely a cult. Like, as if there was any doubt about that. But clearly, people were living up here, and you don't see any evidence of hierarchy. Even though you definitely saw what it looked like hierarchy outside, and you tied two different people up, one of which was definitely a some sort of magic user. The other of which, it's hard to tell what her role was, but she was apparently doing something to the hobgoblin before you guys got here.
I might assume that when we look at this dormitory, we are looking at like no individuality.
No individuality. No one's here, and some of the beds are like very mussed, as if somebody were sleeping, possibly heard the noise of the dragon or other chaos going on in the courtyard, saw what was going on. In fact, as you're looking around, you do spot some windows that overlook the courtyard, all closed, of course. Probably saw what was going on out there and then ran out. Basically, without making the bed. Other beds are clearly made with nice hospital corners and whatnot.
So, in this dormitory, there, I guess, there's no off-shooting rooms for, like, say, anybody of authority, like you've said. Like, it's just a dorm up here.
No, it's just a dorm up here. It looks like everyone is meant to live together in one big, big room.
Culty harmony.
Yep. Well, I mean, it is called the cult of. It's called the
Yeah.
cult of the Union, or the Church of the Union for a reason.
I'm
Is there
guessing they
like a
didn't.
temple room?
No, actually, that's something that probably sets you off particularly, Fruck. It's like,
Well, what'd you ask?
being that this
Room
is
of worship.
a religious cult,
Oh.
there is no obvious signs of worship, no symbols of worship that you can locate.
Yeah, but like a room where it seems like they would worship
Nope.
something.
You
Nope.
walk around the exterior, because it's it's a square, so it's like it's one big room, but it's a square, so there's the interior courtyard wall with all the windows. You keep walking around the entire thing, and there's little tiny rooms off to the sides, like in the corners, and you open them up to look for a shrine, and nope, just a latrine. Just a place for somebody to do their pooping business, or maybe peeing and whatnot. But
This makes a lot of sense. If they're all part of the unity or whatever,
Mhm.
they don't need a leader here. They're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Like
I was
anyone
thinking-
here could replace anyone.
They're
yeah.
fodder, basically.
Yeah, and they don't need a place of worship because it's not actual worship. It's just unity.
Yeah. Yeah, so Amunet has an idea, and she kind of, like, as they're, like, walking around up there, she's like, well, if this is, like, where all the newbies are for the cult, not everybody's going to be, like, 100% down with everything. So it's possible. I'm curious about something. What do the beds look like?
basically like the sort of beds you would see in basic training for like the army and whatnot?
Yeah, so like basically a flat and then like a mattress or whatever and like a pillow and blanket. Just
Yeah, and
very
then like
basic.
and like stacked up one on top of the other, and bunk beds. It's a series of bunk
Yeah.
beds.
All right, yeah. So I know where I like to keep stuff. She's gonna toss and look under all the mattresses and
All
see
right,
if she can
give me an
find a journal.
investigation roll.
Yep. 24 or higher. Let's do this. Oh, sorry. There we go.
All right. Let's see. You find you start tossing the mattresses. You do find one little stock card. Looks like somebody's scrawled neatly on it, saying, "He is the darkness. He is the light. He is the chaos that brings brings life." Sorry.
Can you type that out or repeat that, please?
Sure. But 1 second. It's easier to copy and paste from my notes.
That works. He
Like
is the darkness.
it's like someone trying to remember a mantra.
He is the light. He is the chaos. The bring light or that brings light?
Oh, he is the chaos. That. Oh, sorry. That should be that, not the.
Yeah.
Stupid. Thank you.
Nah, I do that too.
I didn't even notice until you tried saying that out loud.
He's the chaos.
Yeah, mine autocorrects a lot of things.
Yeah, mine too. Huh. Interesting. And she'll read it to the group. It says, he is the darkness, he is the light, he is the chaos that brings life. He. Who's he? It wouldn't be the Tarstan's a group. Galen?
Ah.
Interesting. Okay. And she'll just pocket it away. If this fucker's tied to this shit, we're in for an interesting yeah. My world got turned upside down last time I ran into him, so I'm sure this will be interesting.
You also find under another bed, saying something like, "The flower was so pretty, and now I'm here. Everything just feels like a dream."
Like in a little book or something.
No,
like
it's somebody else like writing on a like a journal
card.
page, like you said, like
Okay.
like in a journal cards they stuck under the bed, and it's kind of like somebody rambling to themselves as if they're trying to remember something and or are having an issue.
All right, this will be beneficial
yeah,
too.
the mantra one, by the way, you'd probably find under several beds.
Yeah. Looks like this is proof that the people aren't here on their own volition, that they're trying to figure out what happened, and that they're being drugged. This is evidence.
And while you're doing that, outside, a group of armored soldiers, green and one red out in the middle, and that would be and blue, green, blue, and one red in the middle, are coming towards the building, armored, wearing dragon masks of the same color, all of that. Alongside them is that hobgoblin that you released from there. And the hobgoblin says, hey, some of the people that helped.
Sure, just give a bow, basically.
Gil will unmute himself and greet them.
Yeah, well, mute himself and greet them.
The one in the red mask comes to a halt, and holds up a hand, and it says, you are the ones that were investigating this place? Who's in charge?
Cal kind of like grimaces. He's like, well, I'm not necessarily in charge, but I am the most eloquent. He kind of
He speaks for Tiamat.
yeah, and he would like
Vader will
hold up the emblem and say, "We were sent here by Tiamat to
Mm.
investigate and
they all do. They
eradicate
all
the cult."
basically do a hands to the chest kind of salute sort of thing when you bring up Tiamat. Kind of a drilled-in worshipful sort of thing, or maybe just a equivalent of a salute.
And Kale would say, there was a faction of the cult set up here. Had some. Well, I didn't personally. I'm assuming you guys would have filled him in on what you found in the
Yeah.
basement. Like, I did not personally witness what my companions did, but apparently they were feeding people to trees. And
There's an entity known as the Tarston that is
Hmm.
basically what this cult is all about. And yes, they have been sacrificing people to cultivate these.
The Church of the Union has been active in our city. The
Well,
the person underneath the red mask seems to be quite disgusted at this thought.
Kale would gesture at the bugbear, and apparently if they've been drugging
Hobgoblin.
people and bringing them here. Yeah, Hobgoblin. Yeah, he would gesture at them and say, apparently they've been drugging people and bringing them back here to indoctrinate to their cult. But we seem to have routed them out for now. Hopefully this was their only nest in your city.
Some of them did get away, unfortunately, while we were dealing with the saving people in the basement and the, what'd you call them? Assassin vines?
yes, something that I've witnessed in the jungles of Chult. But yes, assassin vines in the courtyard.
I may have startled them by summoning a green dragon to aid in our fight.
You startled a lot more than them, Kale.
You can hear the green helmeted figures just kind of whispering to each other, although it's kind of hard to make out what they're saying. But they seem to be rather interested in this ability of yours.
Well, he's not going to tell them that it's actually just a tree masquerading as a dragon. And if someone sticks him with a needle within the next hour, makes him break concentration, and a tree will just plummet out of the air.
Oh God!
Oh,
Oh my God! The visual.
Don't
That
let them
reminds
know.
me of the whale that
The whale.
spawned in the air
Oh.
was falling.
Yeah.
What a sensation!
And all what was it? And all the pot was thinking, oh no, not again.
That's because Arthur Dent kept killing him in every life he ever had.
I know. I read the book. I
it.
loved it.
Yeah, not many people have read the third book to find that out.
No, I read all the books.
I found one
Grizz,
book with all of them
look
in.
at the people you're hanging
Yeah,
out with.
I know.
Oh my god, we're all fucking nerds, huh?
I'm
Ew.
just so used to people to that. Sorry.
Not to single you out, Rick, but have you read them?
Red what? Sorry. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
No, I've heard of it. though.
You.
Oh,
I-
check
I-
him
I-
out.
I-
Check him
I
out.
haven't read them either yet.
Oh,
Rick.
okay. You're both getting mad from the server.
Look, I'm too
I
young
know the
to know
answer's
what that
42,
is.
but that's about
Wait,
it.
wait. You're
That's
too
my-
young to know what that is, Quentin.
What?
Oh,
Quinn's a baby.
No.
children.
I mean, come on, movies. The movie isn't that old.
The movie
Yeah, I've
was
seen the movie.
horrible, and it has very little in common with the book.
It has the charm of the books. It's what it does what movie can do with a book like that.
I appreciate Alan Rickman as a little depressor
Okay,
a lot.
I will admit that there's some great people in there. Still, as somebody who used to listen to a audio recording of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy on repeat, I felt very very saddened by the movie.
It's been a while since I've read it. I probably should read it again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's on my
Okay.
to read list.
it's worth it.
Yeah, for sure.
If you don't mind, I'm just gonna jump out the window and learn to fly by missing the ground.
And then, of course, Martin Freeman actually does do the first two books, I think, audio, like one or two of the books in the audio format.
Oh, nice.
The movie they re-recorded on abridged versions, and he was reading them, so it's quite good for that. So if
Oh,
you just
cool.
want audio, those are perfectly acceptable.
I do appreciate a good audiobook, but it's so hit or miss. It all relies on the narrator, really.
Hmm. Well, that's why I was recommending one with decent narrator.
Yeah, I ran into that with Game of Thrones whenever I was running bonds and stuff, but I found a
Oh,
good one
man.
and burned through them real quick.
Just the breathing and
One my
noise.
library
Oh, you have to read it
had
out
this
loud?
old dude reading it that was really boring, and I was, oh, all right. Anyway, so yeah, Green Dragon. Scared the indoctrinated seem to have scattered. We did capture a few.
Captured
and rescued a few people as well.
and rescued.
Oh.
Well, I
Yeah,
imagine
we do need
the medics. We'll have to
medical
check. We'll have to check them out. The
We also
captured
have
ones we want to
evidence.
interrogate.
We also have evidence of some sort of well, we thought it was some sort of like sleeping draft or, thing, but in high doses it they're basically drugging people. There's stuff on the on the stove. I recommend being careful with it.
I assume it was made of the flowers that they were growing in the middle, although
Yeah.
we've kind of destroyed all of that, sort of. I guess there's still shreds and stuff. Dragon was quite efficient.
Hmm.
It should be safe to go into the courtyard now. There was a pollen in the air that made it
And
unbreathable for most.
One of the green suited ones that says, "Don't worry, sir. We are trained to deal with poisons. We will be okay."
That's good.
Of course, you're Green Dragon folk. Anyway.
I would also just when you guys are done with this area and investigating whatever you're going to do, it's possible that this is just one area. We noticed we have a little bit of history with this kind of situation, and we've noticed that they basically like to start a node and then branch out. So we found we found a node in our sewer in our town. You may want to send Scale Guard to patrol your sewer systems and any areas of knowledge that you may have.
It actually concerns me that we didn't find a node here.
No, but it's possible that they were starting it down in the trapdoor that we found.
Sure, similar to the way it looked, but not quite as progressed.
It's basically new.
I would also warrant anyone trying to apprehend the remaining be wary. This crystal that infects them is like a disease at start, so be warned about that.
The disease. Understood.
On contact.
Yes.
Yeah, it affects the
All
mind.
they have to do is touch you.
So some of them might not be willing.
But we found that a restoration spell is very helpful.
Is it greater or regular restoration?
Greater.
I know Will's been using greater, but
we've been working. Yeah, we've been using greater. I think it has to be greater. I don't know though.
At some point it does, but I think at first lesser works.
Lesser.
Minor.
Okay.
Yeah, it like scaled to a certain point where it got like real hard.
But the question is, if we go further south and deal with the root of the problem, will they no longer be?
Probably, honestly.
While this conversation is going on, would that give Amanette enough time to give the evidence that she found to the group in the front?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, she's going to just walk up and say, found a little bit of evidence just showing that these people aren't of their own volition and they're being taken control of, and she'll hand it over to Shiori.
Yeah, she'll probably give it a quick look over, just kind of so she knows what it says.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of show the ones right there, and probably, I guess, more likely offer it to the guard.
Yeah.
The guard takes it and starts reading it over. This makes it so much more complex. The council will not has not as yet signed off on any attacks on the Church of the Union, but we will bring them this evidence that they are definitely staging an attack here. Maybe they will finally see the light.
Time is of the essence before another node like this can grow, and also for those that are still questioning, as you can read.
Agreed.
I mean,
at this point, the hobgoblin pipes up with, "Yeah, and if we had just we're just able to get into that tower in the first place, maybe we would have found the evidence by then." And the guy in the red mask kind of like looks over at the hobgoblin and just starts shaking his head. "Yeah, well, once you guys hit that anti-magic field, well, you kind of dropped out of the sky now, didn't you? Or rather, your partner did." The hobgoblin kind of looks down and looks very distressed at that.
Wait, there's a tower?
What tower are we talking about here now?
The Church of the Union, the Scale Guard says, they are in one huge tower that sits over the source. That is why the council has not authorized us to simply attack them, because they can find a way of shutting down the source of the entire river, which will then not only destroy us here in the Federation just by starvation, but will also cause the people of Kandala Prime to attack us for the loss of the
Is that
water.
in this city or to the south?
This is the entire... Well, it's the country to the south, which is really just one huge tower.
Well,
we need to go,
we need as much information as we can get about this tower, because that's where Tiamat has bade us go.
You hear it's kind of
We have authorization to assault it.
This is very fortuitous for us, because if you attack them, then perhaps they will not believe that those of us in the Federation are attacking them, and they will not immediately destroy the source. Of course, I would very much like guarantees that you do not plan to damage the source yourself, that you will not simply blow the place up, which will probably destroy the source in the process.
Why would we do that?
Well, like, as I've said, give us as much information as you can, and we will... If you have, maps, intel, whatever you can give us.
What exactly is the source? Is this just like a river, or is it like a magical thing that pulls out water?
The source of the longest and most proliferant rivers in all of Kandalis. The one that the Kandala Federation and Kandala Prime are both based around.
But is it like a wellspring or a magic item?
It is a wellspring, and they at the Church of the Union seem to have found the source and have thus kept us from attacking them for slights and other things.
You said anti-magic as well.
Yes.
That concerns me.
It looks over at the hobgoblin. The hobgoblin then nods and says, "Yeah, we were doing reconnaissance flying, and we strayed a little bit too close to the top of the tower. It looks like there is some kind of anti-magic field that is at least 500 feet away from the tower itself."
Did you guys have any magic items? Magic items?
We were under the effects of fly, and it suddenly dropped on my partner. I was 10 feet behind him, and well, I was just out of range of the anti-magic field.
Is he alive? Probably not.
No, we were 500 feet up.
How long ago?
That was last week.
Oh.
And to Frock's question, you just noticed that the fly spell no longer worked. Did any of your party have any magic items that also were negated by the field?
I have no way to know. My partner's body could not be retrieved.
You didn't have any on you yourself, I'm assuming?
I was flying, that's all, and I didn't get close enough to the field.
Okay. I mean,
But I assume
down whatever
I assume
that
it would
is.
shut down anything
Yeah.
that comes within range.
Yeah, Fader looks a little concerned. Fader looks obviously concerned.
Is it only in the air, or was it on the ground as well? Have you guys tried to find it out?
The tower. I made a mistake when he said that it was 500 feet up. The tower is more than 500 feet up because it's on the slope of a mountain, and it's hard to tell where it starts. But I imagine that it's in the interior of the complex as well.
I mean, if the guys inside can't use magic, I mean, how bad can it be?
Too bad.
Pretty bad for the rest of us, hun.
I mean, for
There's
one
some
to
of us that
rely
are
on
100% reliant on magic. So
Yeah, if I can't use magic, I might as well just stay here and get a spa treatment.
can
no,
go.
Kale, while I know you want to go to the spa, and I promised that we would do that, we just need to shut it
Do you
down.
think I fancy going and just being a target if I can't use magic?
Do you think I fancy dealing with the end of the world? No! But we do it!
One of the red scaled dragon. Sorry, they're not. It's hard to tell what species this person is because the red equipped scale guard says, you said something about places of learning, places of study, places with knowledge. Am I correct?
Yes, we found that they took over in our home city. They attacked a deity or a temple.
And
that
if
was...
you know what you're looking for specifically when it comes to these nerds, perhaps you might want to pay a call to Kyranuk. She lives in the Magic Quarter. She has the most books of anyone I know, other than maybe some of the stores in the area, but I believe she has more than they do. She seems to collect them. We occasionally consult her for her contraptions.
She isn't, by chance, in charge of the Owl's Nook, is she?
Oh no, that's just a bookstore. No,
Okay.
she's a bit of a recluse, but she will take visitors.
Well, I would also buy the...
You'll be able to find her tower quite easily. It's known as the Sapphire Spire.
Well, by the power invested in Tiamat, or whatever. For us to be able to take this on, and this knowledge about this anti-magic field, we are going to need some assistance from you, the Scale Guard, and the leaders of the city to be able to equip those that are magic users to be able to not be just basic cannon fodder. Are you willing to assist us with that?
Yes, we can. But we cannot give you official guard equipment, as we discussed, until the council agrees to actually outright attack them, which I think they will take time, and you're saying time is of the essence. We cannot be shown to be giving involvement outright.
Well, then I suggest that you be
Politics.
on your way and get it done.
Yes, we will be doing that. That is why I was giving you suggestions of visiting the Sapphire Spire.
We will visit the Sapphire Spire, and then we will be on our way, and I pray that you would be behind us and not dilly-dally and waste time.
Oh, do not worry about that. We will be talking to the council with utmost urgency.
I need another fucking notebook.
Sorry.
I'll be right back.
Right.
All right.
Well, that dragon would not be good against that magic field, sadly.
Well, I
if
wouldn't have kept him for that, but
If it flew at full
I mean-
speed, eventually it turned into a log and be flying at full speed at the tower.
I like that idea.
To be
we
fair,
could ride a log into the side of the tower.
Oh my
yay.
god, yes.
I could take Sylvie and fly up there, couldn't I?
Yes, you could
could.
actually, because
can fly with
Sylvie
Sylvie.
is a regular dragon, but Sylvie
Um,
can't fit all of you. Sylvie can fit you, and maybe you and Will.
How do
I mean, I can go solo bolo.
Hold on. Shape-shifting, as in the druid's shape-shifting ability, is that counted by anti-magic?
I believe it is. Yes.
Is it?
I
Yeah,
think
so I'm completely useless
Oh.
in this situation.
Same.
What's up?
Same.
I mean, if maybe there's
Unless
a way
there's
to
a way to like shut it down.
Yeah, it's magical.
Yeah.
Maybe if we have an anti-magic field, maybe the weird lady with the
Two
gadget.
anti-magic fields.
No, an anti-magic
it'd
field.
be like
Not an
it'd be
anti-magic
like two
field.
stasis fields canceling each other out. It's how you open billion-year-old boxes. And occasionally find
Alright,
people
who here
still
can
living
cast
in them.
anti-magic field?
Nobody. I don't even think that's a spell I can cast.
No, no.
And I wouldn't be able to cast it because it's there's no magic.
Maybe the weird lady that they told us.
Yeah, we need to go talk to her.
Maybe she has
Yeah.
like an anti-magic thing. I don't know. Otherwise, we could just find the source of the anti-magic and have Will destroy it while he's sneaking. Because I don't think your sneaking gets affected, right?
Sneaking in
Cloak
general
of
doesn't get affected.
invisibility.
Ma-
Cloak
magic-
is
ma-
gone,
magic items.
and the actual
Yeah.
ability to cast your favorite spell get affected. However, I've seen his ability to roll on sneak without either, and he is still very fucking sneaky.
I mean, I still have a plus 15.
Yeah,
Yes.
like you'd have to
Yeah.
roll real shit to get caught.
No, even if he rolls a nat 1, he's still sneaking pretty well.
I can still
Yeah.
passively sneak past basic people.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but then again, I don't feel good sending Will in there solo bolo. But
No.
Aww. Going soft.
I want to go solo bolo.
Just don't want Will to take the glory.
My glory.
Yeah, we need to figure out what we can do ahead of time before we hit the field. If there's anything we can
So
do.
this other place where we could go to, was that something? Could
in
we...
the city, the Sapphire
Yeah.
Spire,
Wait,
whatever
what?
the fuck.
Wasn't the Sapphire? What was it called? The Sapphire Spire.
Yeah, that's where Kira Knocker, whoever this woman is, that we need to talk to
Here,
before
knocker.
we go. In the Magic District, I think it
Sounds
was.
like one of those you lads from Iceland.
Mm-hmm.
Did I give her
Yeah.
an ironic name? Sorry.
It's fine. Kiernik.
Kiernick, got it.
Does
Really, Nick.
question? Because I'm just unfamiliar. Does an anti-magic field negate any sort of like if you take like a potion and then you walk through the field? Does it negate the potion?
I believe so, from the time that you're actually in the field.
So
Yeah,
that means Hero's Feast is off the table too.
So
It
healing
suppresses
potion
the
also
effect
won't
while you're in
work.
there.
And
Well,
yeah,
it
healing
suppresses
won't
the
work.
effect while you're in there.
Yeah, it suppresses the
Once-
effect. It also basically once the field shuts down, all of your equipment and spell, and things that have more than an hour, more than a couple of minute duration, would immediately pop back on as soon as you are good again.
Mhm.
So
Well, if I cast a spell, say just outside of the place, like if I'm in the anti-magic field, I cast a spell that requires me to pick a position. Can I change the position when the spell activates and the magic field disappears? Like, can I concentrate on the spell and just go, okay, now the spell is going to be active, the anti-magic field is gone, I want that position.
Can you repeat that, please?
Basically, I cast a spell that requires me to pick a position. And if I walk and destroy the anti-magic field whilst I'm in another room,
Okay.
what position will be appointed? The position I chose first, or the position that I choose, or do I have to choose a new position once that anti-magic field is gone?
I think I still don't understand what you're getting at.
Okay, I am guessing complex.
Can he maintain
questions.
concentration on a spell as long as the effect of the spell is outside of the area of the anti-magic?
I'll try to
field?
find an example. Sorry for being bad at explaining.
No, it's like for some reason I'm just not understanding.
Yeah,
You
no.
guys hear
So
me?
let's. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can.
Okay, yeah.
So let's say if I wanted to cast, what's a good spell that would? Yes, here's one. Earthquake. A point on the ground that you can see within range, 500 feet.
All right.
If I cast that spell whilst I'm in the anti-magic field, say outside of
won't-
this,
If you're inside the magic field, you cannot cast the spell. It wouldn't work.
okay, because I caught this on because you said that items and spells that were suppressed.
Yeah, that you would have to basically a item or spell that is active
Sorry,
before
and
you
this
go
was a bad
into the
this was a bad example as well.
yeah,
Sorry.
before you go into the field, as long as it lasts more than a minute, something that this would be unfortunately just a minute, would be able to, once you figured out a way to shut down whatever's going on, then you would have the ability to then it would suddenly switch back on.
If you
Something
got
that's less than
Deathward,
something
for
that's
Yeah, so So if
it's
it were
basically
like
meant for like Hero's
Whirlwind.
Feast, Death Whirl, things that last a lot more time than that.
So
But
if it lasts a minute, I
yeah,
destroyed it, and
yeah,
where
things-
would it appear?
No. Things that are cast that are less than a minute a minute or less before you enter in the magic field would fizzle out. So basically, because you don't know how long it's going to take you to upend that in the first place. So I'm basically making the ruling that if it's something that's like an hour or longer, then that spell would probably still be effect, assuming that you didn't have 1 minute left
Okay.
before going in.
So my question is then, if I cast a spell that has an hour or longer before I enter.
Yeah. Think like any of the standard.
Yeah,
ones
okay,
like
but it
Password.
doesn't matter what spell.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Just if it lasts for longer than an hour, I cast it on a specific point.
Okay.
It cannot activate because I'm in the anti-magic field.
If you're trying to cast it into the anti-magic field, it may or may not fizzle out. It basically will depend on what's causing the anti-magic field. If you cast it outside the anti-magic field and you go into the anti-magic field, the effect is temporarily suppressed until you
Okay, never mind.
until you regain your ability to
I was
interact with
basically
magic.
just trying to make
But it will
a time
reappear.
bomb.
Yeah, you just can't cast it into where the anti-magic field
Alright.
is necessarily. Now,
I
I'm
was
not
just
saying
trying to
that you
make
can't
time bomb.
entirely. I'm just saying is that there's a possibility that you can't. So
No,
you
no.
might,
My idea was a time bomb.
Yeah.
I understand it doesn't work. Got it.
I like the idea, but yeah.
Hmm.
We should eat Hero's Feast before we go in, regardless. I'm gonna throw out there. I know it'll be negated for a little bit.
The
but
scale
whenever
guard,
that-
meanwhile, takes out it basically seems to be manhandling the two people that you have tied up and are carefully escorting the other the survivors out to talk to them, but being more nice about it.
I agree with the Hero's Feast, but
I also found something else a little interesting.
Hmm.
Aminette will say, I found this. And she'll unfold a piece of paper. It just, I don't know. And where the fuck? 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. I wrote it down and then I put it away. He is the darkness. He is the light. He is the chaos that brings life. Sound familiar? Remind you of anybody?
kind of.
We might
Don't-
be dealing with more than just this.
That's unpleasant thought.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
That's
a
fair.
thing. That's fine.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. No.
I mean, yeah, no.
What time of day is it, by the way?
I believe
I
we
can't remember
established
what-
that we're going into the evening
Okay.
because
Been
it's basically time people were getting off work, people were going for drinks, and
Yeah,
then you
okay.
guys ran off in here, so people were
Oh,
already
yeah, we
sleeping
were in the
their
tavern
bunk
before.
shift.
Yeah. That's why I was like,
Mhm.
I feel like we're kind of that might
Yeah,
not.
no. It wasn't lunchtime. It was.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
after work.
Well, because like we got there, I don't think we reached the city until halfway through the day when we started. Actually. if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
Before we
I
did that.
think I just thought of something, like
What?
just on how to compare Will in his position in this.
Mm.
So people here play Pokemon, right? You know that one Pokemon that you have that you always put your HM on?
I don't play Pokemon. Sorry.
Rick, you understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Pokemon that you only bring out when you need to cut down a tree, or when you need to fly, or when you
Yep.
need to surf.
Which is much easier to do now that you could actually, change up who you have in the box and who you have in your team in the middle of nowhere instead of having to go all the way back to a Pokemon Center to get one.
Yeah, but that is Will. Will is that Pokemon that you only need for Heroes Feast and
That's not true.
Will has
Windwalk
so many good
and
That's not true at all, sir.
Yeah, no.
I'm the HM Pokemon.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I'm sorry, I made that.
From this point on, you're only allowed to say your name when speaking.
Will. Will.
Will.
And that is a threat.
No, you could
That is a functioning setting. That is a functioning
It
sentence.
could easily be Mewtwo, or maybe
Oh.
he's like one of the evolved, Meowits.
No,
They
he's
can
he's
speak.
Wilmon, and he can only say his name.
No.
Wilmon!
If Will can only say his name, he can still make a very functional threat. That is Will.
Will.
Yes.
Because
Will.
Will.
Will. We are using Will as a noun and an adjective and a verb.
Yes.
I am Groot.
Yep.
I am Groot. I am Groot.
Will is going to do a will, which is a threat.
Yeah. So, do you think we should check the tower out now?
Yes.
All right.
No.
What was the place called again that the anti-magic field was in?
Oh.
The
it's
anti-magic
just a-
field is well to the south. It's outside the country. It's in the other country. It's the mountains
Yes.
that you can sort of see if you're at the top of the cliffs right now.
Okay,
So
but it didn't have a name.
The Church of the Union.
Yeah, just.
Okay, sorry, it was just the Church of
It's
the Union.
the Church of the Union basically lives in one huge tower.
Okay,
That's their
alright.
entire country. That they
Did
basically
they
just
have
gathered together.
did the tower have a name other than that?
Church
or
of the
is it
Union.
just it's always been known as Church of the Union?
Yep.
Did they build it?
Yep.
Okay.
Hi, cat.
They built it, but we will
Towers.
make it turn into dust.
Oh damn, tower building bastards.
All right. Yeah.
I mean,
let's
we're
go
not
there.
allowed to turn it into dust because that's where this river source that is.
Yeah.
They
can't
built
blow
on
it
top
up.
or whatever it was.
We have to
Were we
remove
allowed? Wait,
whatever's in there.
was this tower on top of a mountain?
Yes. It's
Were
jutting
we
out of the
allowed to
mountain.
crumble the entire mountain?
No, because that would destroy the source.
Oh,
I mean,
Basically,
Would
you
it?
kind of protect the source of the river is basically what they're telling you. But of course, that's up to you whether or not you actually want to do that because
so here's the
it-
thing, though.
it,
What if Will creates a new source of the river afterwards?
Can you do that?
Oh, well, with time.
yeah. What I'm saying is that these are things that are in your control, and you are allowed to destroy the entire thing and say, I don't care about the people of this continent. That there's going to be a huge war if I destroy this. That's their problem, not ours.
I mean that's fine. It's
That's
a
on
heretic war.
That sounds like
They
a
can
bit of a
fight
dick
each other.
move that would maybe change alignments.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, they're all
but-
heretics.
Do that.
They're all
But they can
heretics.
move.
I won't change alliance. We're all
But-
heretics.
My point
don't-
is that this is also one of those cases. If you look at it and go, this might be the only way to save everyone, the entire world.
Yeah,
That it
then
won't
that-
necessarily
yeah.
hurt your alignment. But if you could think, basically, it's one of those. If you could see a way through to doing it without destroying the entire place, will keep your alignment so much. If you just go, I'm not even gonna bother looking. I'm just gonna destroy the entire place because that'll probably solve the problem. That might
good.
change your alignment, but that's one of those things that's a very gray area because it's the same sort of morally gray of like dropping
Yeah.
a precision bomb on somebody horrible that's going to cause lots and lots of death, even if a couple of innocent people die in the process. Like those are horrible moral questions, but that's basically what you're dealing with. The possibility of dealing with.
We'll
Go
deal
ahead.
with that when
What
we
was your
get to
question?
it.
Who?
I thought you were asking me a question, Tobias.
Ah,
Sorry.
no. Oh, sorry. I forgot. No, but I kind of figure out the answer on my own. I can't cast a spell inside of the anti-magic field from the outside, of course not.
Yeah, we need to figure out the source and then deal with it, and then
Mhm.
What about artillery?
artillery. Okay, so we're going to if there's nothing else here that we need to do, we'll pass off the survivors to the scale guard.
They've already got them.
And okay. And then we will did want to grab one thing. Dragon took care of the pollen. Before they leave, Phaedra's going to go around, or Aminette, or whoever, she's going to suggest, let's grab some of these gas masks in case we deal with the pollen in the capital, or wherever we're
Throw me an
going.
investigation to see how many you can find.
I will let
That's right.
Aminette do that.
Oh.
Aminette finds 3 still intact that look like your party could use them.
That's nice.
Will and Frog don't need.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
try.
And neither does
Yeah,
Kale,
how
because
many
Kale
do-
doesn't breathe.
Yeah, how many do we need is the question, because I will do an... So, Phaedra will need one, Shiori will need one, Aminette will need one, Meredith will need one, Urk will need one, Vondel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6, so we need technically another 3.
Yeah. I would say for Reese right now, Shuri's okay with letting someone else have one of the 3. She does, at the very least, have her cowl. It's not perfect, but it's better than what most people seem to have.
I mean, Phaedra has... Was it poison or disease? I can't... It was poison, right?
Mm-hmm. I believe so.
Okay, so... Grizz, was it poison?
I imagine poison. Well, actually, if we're talking are we talking Phaedra or are we talking Aminette?
Well, I
Yeah,
was thinking more Phaedra, like I was, because
Well,
she's
'cause-
got advantage on Constitution, but
Yeah,
I mean,
she has versus
Aminette
poison,
had the
yeah.
spore stuff, but she got cured of that, so
yeah, so that
that's not
became
really a thing anymore.
that became a sad. That used to be the case with her, but not anymore. So what was the question about Phaedra?
The pollen that they specifically dealt with, or that they may see again with when they go to the other country, what check was that? I feel like somebody made a check.
Poison.
Was it? It's poison. Okay,
Yeah.
so Phaedra has advantage, and her con's pretty good.
Meredith
So
wouldn't need it then. 'cause she-
Meredith,
Yeah.
Meredith's only
Well,
a level 8 monk. She's not a level 10.
She don't need it.
Yeah, she still don't need it. It's
No.
I've got advantage on
He's
con
cannon
save
fodder.
as well.
oh yeah,
The
dwarf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Dwarf
true.
roll.
I would
And I have
say
a decent con.
maybe
Okay.
Aminette, Meredith, and Urk for now.
Yeah, we'll just roll with that. Unless, like, if somebody else wants to make a check that has high investigation to try to find more. Like, I mean, I already used Aminette.
Yeah.
Sure. Just to do the double once over.
You
Make
check
sure you
in
didn't miss any.
everything and occasionally get some looks from the guards who are also doing checks, and unfortunately you don't find any more intact.
Intact.
Correct.
Intact, which means
There
we can get
are
some
several
that aren't
there are
intact
several
and
damaged.
mend. We
He's an
literally have
artificer. He can mend them.
I have a spell called Mending.
Okay,
I think I'll
you
take
find
the damaged
5
ones.
more that are damaged that need to be repaired.
Yeah, I mean, I can easily just mend them back together.
Well then, that works.
He could probably
So also-
artifice and improve them too.
Yeah, artifice is just these are shit. I can
He
make
could
them better.
tinker them better. Yeah.
He'll need time and some space to do that, but yeah.
Yeah.
You just need
I
a
mean,
brain
I'm assuming that we're
or a
going
threat.
to overnight here and not just start traveling.
Hmm.
Might not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Sapphire Spire first.
Yep, let's go.
So who was the this person with the name Kirinyuk in the Sapphire Spire?
Who are they?
Yeah, what was their position?
It was just a
Kyranuk, she lives in the Magic Quarter, in a place called the Sapphire Spire.
Hmm. Yeah, but the political position rather, like
It's basically
theological.
she's described as a recluse of some kind, who loves books. That's all you were given. That's the only information I believe you were given.
Yeah.
All right, so we have the authority over her with the.
Yeah, Magic Quarter is northwest in the
We head that way.
district. So, yeah, and it's pretty easy to spot the spire once you get there. You basically see, various like little shops with tinkering going on, various
We'll
places.
cast earthquake and brings this
things.
spire down to our level. Nothing.
You see various clear cut wizard towers, but the tallest of them is clearly the Sapphire Spire, with clear like blue stones being used as his aesthetic.
You know.
And it doesn't do anything weird with its perspective, so it just you walk up to it and it is there.
Oh, it's not a wizard tower.
Well, it feels like it's designed like a wizard's tower, except it doesn't have weird perspectives on it.
They're wizards.
We going?
If only Viren were here.
If only Varen were here.
I don't think you would like where we're going. No, for once.
You never know. He could.
You
be
never
a
know. He could have
horticulturalist
paid
and-
Will to steal some scrolls.
I just more saying I don't think he'd relish the fact of going into an anti-magic zone being what.
I mean, I don't relish
You
the
know.
fact that thought.
No, I don't think he'd want to be here.
And I'm like 3 times as hale as that little twig.
I am concerned about that, too.
At least
Hmm.
a couple daggers.
Well, the Scale Guard said that they would also equip us, so I'm hoping that they're not going to give us dog shit for armor and weapons, but...
I'm actually thinking of it's unclear whether or not you might already have better weapon and armor than they might be able to
not
provide.
if it's negated
Not
by
if-
magic!
Yeah, not if we can't use
This is
magic
true.
items. I
This
have the
is
Sword
true.
of Light. I'm assuming that's not going to work at all. My armor is probably would put me down to 14 AC because I guess the +1 would no longer count.
I'm going to argue,
that's
though,
magic?
that our... Mm,
I don't know. Like, I have a quarterstaff and a dagger, and not even my teeth are magic. Like, I can bite people, but
All right, that's a good point.
I mean,
So I'm also going to argue that those of us with adamantine armor, adamantine is a substance and not a magical effect. So I'm going to say that should not be negated, but that's going to be your
you're
call.
like, is my form of dread magic or not?
I don't think it's magic in and of itself.
I think
I
if
mean,
you,
I get
like,
10 hit points from it. I
It's a racial
manifest
ability,
an axe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a class ability. It's
Yeah.
So
Oh,
here's
it's
the
from
thing,
my
though.
patron.
If you look at your feats and just look at the wording, if you see it says magical, it's magical.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
For an
it does-
example,
it's-
Will
and-
has fade away.
And if it doesn't have magical in the title, we assume that an anti-magic field will not affect it.
oh, so this actually.
I manifest an aspect of my patron's dreadful power.
Yeah, and
That kind of
that's not
sounds magical.
That sense is magical, except that there is just enough wording there that the GM can say that's not magical, or the GM can say that is magical. I am going to shout that I'm going to err on the side of that is not exactly magical. That is affecting slightly different. That this anti-magic field will not affect.
That is
So
a
you should be okay.
manifestation.
Yes.
So here's the other thing that I'm going to throw out there. What about our familiars?
Yeah, Squeak is gone.
Magical.
Oh, Cinder technically is a dragon, so that's why I'm curious.
Is she off display?
No, she's Fae, I believe.
Yeah, I think is
She's
considered
summoned.
Fae.
Well, it's up to Grizz. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of.
Yeah, as I said, she's considered Fae.
Because technically she was a pseudo dragon, and then
Yeah.
she got transferred. So would that make her? Would she just be a pseudo dragon, or not exist at all?
She is Fae. She would be in the same boat as anything else summoned.
So yep, there
He's
goes
a summon,
familiars.
so
Yeah.
Oh,
Because when she's quote unquote killed on this plane, she just zoops back to Santa.
I know the item wouldn't be magical anymore for purpose of thing, but technically, if I had because the sword is an actual sword, if it's summoned, it should just stay, right?
The
If you
magic
summon
on
it, yes, it should stay. If you're inside the field, you would not be able to summon it at that point, and nor could you
Okay.
change its form. But if you already had it
Okay.
summoned, it still counts as a sword, and thus it just loses its ability to count as a magic weapon.
Cool.
So I would imagine then the sun sword is literally just a hilt.
Yeah, that's what
And
we were
it-
Yeah,
discussing earlier.
same with my blade.
Yeah, so that means Bob's out.
Right.
Bob is back in business.
Bob is back.
I mean, it
Was
looks
back
like I
there.
could still force necrotic damage on a hit, because this doesn't sound like it's magical.
I was actually reading Hexblade's Curse is apparently not considered magical. It's just considered as a baleful like effect. Is what it's called.
I'll be pretty much useless until that anti-magic field goes away.
I
Well,
think
that's why I asked for the scale guard to at least
Yeah.
equip us. That's why I
Yes.
was like, well, you
Uh,
gotta give us something.
lay on hands should be fine. I think. Is
Yeah.
Now you're calling on divine.
Yeah. I don't know about smiting. Probably not.
You'll be using a spell.
Spell
to-
slots for that.
Yeah, no.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it uses spell slots, but I don't
Yeah,
know if it
it
counts
would
as
be
a
a spell.
spell. Yeah.
It would.
I don't know. Yeah.
Because
Good.
it
I
just
don't know.
uses
I don't
spell
know.
slots.
I'm not gonna say yes.
You're
Uh,
cast- you're
That's kind of
casting
useless
something.
for me.
Uh,
Sorry, I didn't mean to click it again.
I'll get. I do still have my improved divine smite, so technically speaking, I do the
Divine
same
Smite
amount.
should work, yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, but it just gives me an extra D8 damage.
Mm.
Granted, I'm gonna de-click it because my weapon also gives me an extra D8, so it's just the same.
Mm.
But does your
'Cause that's-
weapon, if your weapon's magic, does it still do that?
It doesn't do that anymore, but I have improved Divine Smite, which does basically the same thing. So if I just... Because else I'll have to go into my item, deselect it, and then still add improved Divine Smite, which is basically a bit dumb. I
Mm.
can just...
You're basically doing the same thing, but
Yeah.
without adding the item.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's not from the item, it's from my class now. Normally speaking, I do an extra D8, but I don't now.
And
normally-
question:
All my attacks do like 3d8 damage.
an item that is a +2, let's say, is still a +2 in an anti-magic field. It just loses its magical properties, right?
Yeah, it is
That
like
is
I have
correct.
Glamored Studded Leather that's a +1.
Yeah, it's just that
Is
again.
it still a
magical-
+1?
Yes,
I
it's
just
still a
can't make
+1.
it pretty.
Right.
Hmm.
Correct.
So
The
my
other
shield-
the other problem is, of course, if it gets damaged by let's say acid, it still goes into any effect that any non-magical item would then have the problem with if touched by acid. So that is always a thing to consider.
Would my shield still be +2 then?
Yes, but like I said,
Okay.
it can then be damaged by acid attacks, like regular
That's what-
weapons.
Yeah, it's fine.
It just wouldn't have that. The bonus of it should be suppressed, basically.
Yeah, we can just mend it in an anti-magic field. Problem solved. We know how to fix that
How do you-
now.
Mended and anti-magic.
You can't cast Mend in an anti-magic
you
field.
can't.
Shh, don't break my logic.
Don't break.
You can bring duct tape. Duct tape.
Yeah,
Duct tape.
the
I guess-
magical
I
duct
guess-
tape.
duct tape.
That's also artificer way.
Uh,
I approve of this.
All right,
I
so
cast
shiny
a
blue
spell. You're
tower.
an anti-magic. I cast hit big.
I'm looking through my features and the stuff.
I'm
yeah,
looking
it's
through
good.
the bag to see what we have.
Oh, and like my attack with my without my amulet of strength is beep.
I'm sorry if this turned into a whole fucking discussion in the session, but it is a major thing to walk into an
Mhm.
anti-magic field.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
On that point, What about the stuff that I've infused with this?
I
The
mean, that's
infusion
all
would also
magic items.
be oppressed until you leave the field or
Like,
until you shut it down again. But it wouldn't
the
destroy
things,
them.
the things that I've turned into +1s. with
Well, and
this,
the mummy lord isn't going to be able to go into the anti-magic field.
Correct.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
He's
maybe we
stuck
should
outside.
take, we
Turns
should
into
take him.
dust.
We should take him, guys. We should take
You should
him.
take him there, yes.
Just get scattered.
I
Yeah,
mean,
we
we
don't- we
can
didn't
put him in
think
the
about
bag
that.
of holding and then just vamp him out whenever. I mean, well, could we bring the bag of holding in the end?
Yeah, would a bag of
Yeah,
holding just spew everything out?
No, it would just be it would just be oppressed.
Okay,
Like
well
all of your
then
other
we,
magic items.
Yeah,
So
we
we
just
wouldn't.
shove
If
the
we
mummy
open a
lord
bag
in the
of
bag of
holding in
holding,
the
it's fine.
anti-magic field,
Yeah.
it's just a bag.
Yes.
A very
it's
small
just a
bag.
bag. What happened to the things inside?
They still exist, but they're elsewhere.
They're in a
Yeah.
locked anti-magic plane.
Technically speaking, they're in
Basically,
the
yeah.
astral sea, so it should be fine.
So here's the thing, though. Will can definitely get in there and find out where the anti-magic field source is and try to take it out on his own. Because we're thinking that what we're going facing there is going to be of the nature of plants, right?
Mm-hmm. Part of it.
Yeah.
It could
First
be
of all,
the actual Tarston creating the anti-magic field, and then we're fucked.
they first of all have to find Will,
This is true.
and then they have to attack Will.
This is true.
And Will has certain things that allows
AKA
him
fuckery.
to. Plant
Well,
plant
Mr.
creatures have to roll a wisdom saving throw against my spell save DC
Oh.
to even attack me.
Huh.
That'd be
have
pretty
to-
cool.
So fighting the creation of the Tarzan plant, the dragons,
Yeah, I would
and stuff,
imagine the dragons are playing.
they are not going to be able to attack Will unless they roll really high on their wisdom.
Nice.
Immune if they succeed for 24 hours, but still, holy fuck.
Mm-hmm.
It's
The
aware
ba-
before it makes the attack. It's like,
Will's
do
just
I
going
want
to.
this?
They're gonna roll charge at Will, and Will's just gonna give them the look and raise his hand in the Jurassic Park way and just lead them off. Like no.
Hell yeah.
No. Okay.
Like stop.
Naughty.
Bad plant.
So in that kind of same like dealing with nature stuff, I would imagine that effects that are caused by a natural source would not be negated.
Such as?
Poison,
Correct.
or say a bigwort mushroom.
The bigwort itself would have no effect if you ate it inside a magic field, but if you ate it before going in, I believe the effect would still be there.
I'm just trying to pull out whatever fuckery I can at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I got some poison, at least for Amonette.
Do you have one of the Gruey ones?
The what?
The Grew ones, the big ones.
The big wart.
Yeah, the bigwort. I have one bigwort.
We
Uno.
don't have the other one.
We don't have the one that makes you smaller.
If we give that to Sylvie, how many people could sit on Sylvie?
That would basically class her up to a young dragon, young silver dragon. Let me pull out the
Large.
picture of a young silver dragon.
I just realized something as well.
She's medium now, right?
Mm.
So she would be large.
Yeah.
I can still use a charisma because that's not a magical thing. That's just me being attuned to the weapon effectively.
There's a
Because
lot
I-
of little.
Mm.
Yeah,
Treats.
there's a lot of little things I've noticed. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
huh.
you'd be able to fit maybe two regular-sized people on her back with that.
Okay, wait. Let's think about this. So this tower, I mean, obviously we don't have eyes on it, but the individuals that were talking about it said that they were flying upward. Correct? They were flying towards the top of it,
Yep.
and that's when they fell.
Yep.
Okay.
That's when the one
So-
fell and the other one screeched to a halt, basically, seeing his companion die on him.
So we can imagine that the field, and we know that with the magic users that it's a sphere. So it's probably in the absolute center of this thing, is what I'm imagining.
Oh no, we're doing math.
I'm just trying to.
Math
I
is
mean, I was
being
told there would be no
accomplished
math, but that obviously was a lie from the start.
Oh my god, let's bring out the
This is-
fucking...
This is Dungeons and Dragons. Of course, there's math.
Protractors.
Oh my god, what is the radius? Let's count it out.
Well, no, I was just trying to think were they flying? Like, is this truly like were they flying like close to the peak of the spire, or were they high above it? Because then that would change where the center of the anti-magic field would be. Would it be like closer to the top of the spire, or closer to the center, or even lower? That's
Yeah, these are the
basically
sorts
what-
of questions to ask once you have more information, which is why you were pointed to this spire in the first place, by the way.
Yeah. I know.
Basically, I want to answer these questions right now, but I actually pointed you to a place that would help you with more information. And you're just standing
To be
there.
fair, throwing a anti-magic field at us is going to spark a lot of conversation.
Yes.
And so that's
Yes.
why we're talking about it.
Yeah.
But we are headed we are here. We are here.
Let's go. Maybe we'll find something out once we
I'm
get
sure
there.
we will.
Okay. So you're standing at the base of the Sapphire Spire, a tall tower, probably the tallest one in the district. At least as far as you can tell. 'Cause I mean, wizard towers sometimes look weird sizes, and this one, while in a similar style to wizard towers, doesn't seem to be exactly a wizard's tower, but definitely kind of radiates the feel that someone magical lives here. Those of you looking up towards the top can see it. There's something reflective at the very top of this tower. It's hard to tell exactly what it is from this distance, though. But it looks like it's tall enough to peer up and over the cliffs. If somebody were to be standing on top of the tower. The door to it looks pretty simple. It's tall enough to admit somebody on the size of a furball. Yet there is a door handle low enough for, well, it's just probably just out of the comfort zone of the gnome, but more in the comfort zone of everyone else to reach and knock on.
So who wishes to knock? Apparently that person.
Will
Phaedra
kicks on the
knocks.
door.
And of course, Phaedra.
He doesn't kick in the door, he kicks on the low end of the door.
Phaedra
trying to
would
knock.
also notice that there is a bit of a magic spell. Looks like something akin to a sending stone type of spell affixed to the door just above the knocker. And as you knock on the door, there comes a warbling voice going, "Yes, who is it?"
Oh, hi. We were told to come see you by the Scale Guard. Is this oh god, Kiranok?
Yes. Just a minute, young lady. I will be right there. The voice of the door goes silent, and you're stuck waiting there for several minutes before finally this elderly tabaxi woman with blue robes just kind of pushes open the door and peers out at you, kind of adjusting her little spectacles. Yes? What is it you need?
We're here on behalf of well, I guess Tiamat. We're here to deal with the Church of the Union, and we hear that
Oh
you.
my! You're here on behalf of the Scaled Mistress. Yes. Well, come in.
Phaedra, we're walking.
I mean, yeah, let's all just pile on in.
As you come in, you basically are greeted to a hoarder's house that is a bit cleaner than one usually sees a hoarder's house. There are piles of books and weird knickknacks and odd contraptions. What?
What? No. Will calls her a nerd under his breath.
On various surfaces. There are like stuffed chairs, and some of them have like piles of stuff on them. Others are just clearly used for using, and there's like little afghans and stuff thrown over the sides of them. there are like weird sounds coming from certain areas where it's hard to tell if something is living in piles of books or if there are maybe cages with something in them behind the piles of books. There are bookshelves too that are also stacked to the ceiling, and there is it kind of in the middle of things. There is a tall spiral, that seems to come up to the ceiling. Go up through the ceiling. And what's interesting about it is that while, like, there's a spiraling thing there, and one would expect that, the floor would go right to the spiral up top. Like, as you look up, you see that each successive floor, there's actually a gap between where the spiral staircase is and the floor of each successive room up above. It's kind of odd that way. It's like as if, wait a minute, if somebody was on the side of that, wouldn't they fall potentially? So it's kind of weird.
Is it kind of like she could fly up the center of it if she wanted
Possibly, maybe with the use of a fly spell or something of that nature, rather than trying to walk all the way up the stairs.
to? I mean, it makes sense. Wow.
What brings you to my abode, young lady? Why has Tiamat come calling?
Well, honestly, I mean, let's just cut to the chase. We're here to save the world. Dealing with the Church of the Union, and they.
You can see her
apparently-
eyes flash under her spectacles, and she kind of like leans her head a bit further. Oh, you are here about them, are you?
We're here. What?
It is hard to hear her. She is. She is.
Yeah, but your mic cut out.
Your
too,
mic is
so
cutting in and
we
out, so it's
can't
Yeah.
hear you.
So basically, you can probably make out that you were here for them, are you?
Oh yes.
On there.
Yes, they have been. Well, we're headed towards their tower, I guess, if you want to call it, and we need guidance. We need any sort of assistance or intel, and the Scaleguard told us to talk to you.
As
that you would be
Phaedra's
the most
talking, as Phaedra's talking to her, what's Will doing?
Fuckery.
I mean, they didn't plan anything.
Well, I know Will very well at this point, and there's knickknacks everywhere. There's so much.
I mean, yeah,
places
he's
to get into.
he's
What is
all
he
holding on
doing?
to something that he doesn't own.
But is he sticking
He's not
close?
he's not pocketing it. He's not stealing it. He's just observing things.
The question is he sticking close to the rest of the party, or has he wandered off on his own among the piles?
He hasn't left the room.
Yeah, it's basically one huge room for the most part.
He's in within earshot. He still remains part of the conversation.
So,
Like
Will,
he's
give me a investigation or perception check.
investigation or perception, you say?
Up to you.
Boy, which one should I pick?
The one you have advantage on.
Perception.
All right. So, basically, in your wanderings, like you're close enough to here, so you're like, this room is packed to floor to ceiling almost in places. There are huge piles, ones that easily could crush a gnome, could probably crush most of the party if they fell over, to be honest. But there's just lots of books, lots of knickknacks, but something has either subconsciously or maybe even, well, probably not magically because you're a gnome, but something subconsciously has drawn you in the direction of some of the weird noises that you've been hearing in this pile. And you come around one pile in particular. It seems to be towards one of the walls as Phaedra is in the middle of talking to this woman. And you find yourself looking at a glass terrarium that seems to be carefully secured, like upside down, to a table. And inside, you see one of the death dragons. The little plant-like dragon creatures that came out of the Tarston. And it seems to be scratching on the interior of this terrarium.
Will is just kind of looking at it. Interesting.
All right. Phaedra, carry on.
That's not concerning at all. Yeah, we're here to, yeah, we talked to the scale guard and they told us to come talk to you, that you had the most, knowledge, basically, of anyone in the city, and we need
Oh,
to arm
I
ourselves with
do.
information.
I do. Oh,
What can you tell us?
it is getting towards nighttime. Yes. Then I should be able to help show you something that has been very concerning to me lately. The last few weeks, it has been quite alarming.
Okay.
Oh, when it's perfectly dark, it'll be easiest to see. How about some tea until then?
Oh. What kind of
Sure,
tea?
you just insight.
This is a
Go for it.
tabaxi lady.
Scenario.
This is
It's a tabaxi
suspicious.
lady.
I mean, she knows nothing about the Death Dragon. She's
Yeah, no.
trusting the Scale Guard.
I mean,
She
But
seems
yeah,
to be
I don't
offering you tea for some reason or another.
I mean, Kale wouldn't refuse tea, and he has no reason to insight check this. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
she
like
gets
tea.
she gets up and she moves towards one side of this big room where there seems to be a like a small little stove and a pipe that's going out the side so that the gases vent out, and she picks up a teapot and starts filling it from what looks to be some kind of tap on the side on the side. Like basically looks like a regular sink of sorts, but it looks like it's linked up to like a barrel that maybe it catches rainwater. Like a nice little cistern. And she starts like filling up the pot, and then she puts that on the stove as it's lit up. She rubs her hands together. It'll take a few minutes, and we can drink our tea, and then I'll be able to show you the sights upstairs.
She's a tabaxi lady.
Yes.
I have learned to distrust tabaxi because Thorn exists, and I've heard stories
See,
by
though, she
now.
just-
Ah,
Looks like a
yes,
cat.
your racism has grown.
Yes, I'll do
yeah,
the
that's
divine
right.
sense in here.
you're Goblin
because-
Trump. I forgot.
Yes,
Oh my god.
Versus elves, then it's dwarves, now it's tabaxi.
yeah.
Celestial fiend. She doesn't appear to be any of those types. She's not celestial, not a fiend, not an undead. Although you did
Nope.
pick up a light undead whiff again off of Kale.
That's fine. He needs to take a bath real bad. Anything else that would trigger that within 60 feet of me?
Celestial fiend or undead? Not where you're standing now.
Okay.
Willow's he's been looking like at the Death Dragon and then looking back at the woman, back at the Death Dragon.
Well,
back
you
at the
can't
woman.
actually see the woman from where you're standing, Will.
Oh.
You've wandered behind some stacks and
Oh.
found a death dragon in a cage.
Yeah. But he has been able to be in earshot of the conversation, but
Yes, you just lost sight of them because of the books.
Yeah,
The book towers are a bit too tall.
Will's just like he's realizing the conversation is just not really. Things are going slow, so he's just gonna speed it up by going. And before tea, could we discuss the Death Dragon on your table?
What, Will?
Oh, just
Dragon?
yeah, you know, the thing under your table over here.
You mean the plant creature that looks like a dragon?
Yes,
You have a name
Death
for
Dragon.
this. Oh, death dragons. Fascinating. She
Now,
starts
should I
wandering
should I
slowly
destroy
through
it
the
now, or
tracks.
should I?
I have destroyed several of these, but
Yes,
this
yes.
one is my prisoner, and I am using it for study. And she comes over around the stack and is right next to you, Will. She's looking in
Mhm.
at the cage and looks down at you. Have you killed many of these? They are quite dangerous and a horrific creature now, aren't they?
Very.
Yes.
I've been seeing more and more of them lately out to the south.
Uh-huh.
This is just a baby one, though. Easy to contain. Once they get bigger, it's a bit more of a problem.
What
Oh.
are you using it for?
Oh, this one, I am just studying it because I wish to find an easy way of destroying more of them. They are quite invasive.
I would recommend Blight as a spell.
Well,
Are
show
you
them
a
how good it
druid
works.
then?
sure more people than druids
I
can
mean,
learn
yeah.
blight.
It's not only druids that can use blight.
Yeah, blight is
With
quite.
the-
It's kind of an overlooked spell, especially by nerds. But
Oh my god.
but yes, that is what I would recommend for the destruction of and disposal of these things. They're not, how to say, correctly put into the ecosystem and should be disposed of.
Quite right. I think I like you, little gnome.
They are the epitome of a danger to the natural order.
Yes.
I'm not sure if I can trust you with containing this thing. But then again, we can discuss that over tea.
Yes, come along. The tea part begins to whistle, and she slowly makes her way back to the kitchen area, which is the only area that seems to be freed from books. Basically, she's at least sensible enough to keep paper away from the stove.
As
Will
As she-
hold on. Will takes out a small book that he has found and uses it as a coaster.
She either doesn't notice or doesn't seem to care as she starts assembling the tea, putting little leaves into here and there.
It's gonna leave a tea
They
circle
look
on the
like
cover of this book.
some kind of nice black tea.
Are you sure
Like, you know,
it's
the
Fiddle?
tea. What?
Fiddle was trying to say something.
Oh,
before it got
sorry.
back.
What was Cheryl saying? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
no,
interrupted this one.
before she's going to just say, nice catch, Will. Can you keep an eye out for any other, shit like that?
I mean, do you want me to go and raid her bed chambers or something?
No, God.
What? Then what? Can I at least have the time to drink some tea and put a
I'm
circle
not
on this
saying
book?
you to. Oh, fuck it. Walks over.
Put a circle on a book. I love that was. He wants.
Man, work this old man to the bone, I see.
She just kind of she just kind of looks down and just kind of like.
Looking down on me as well,
Breath.
I see.
She kind of like puts the teacup down for a second. Do you want me to stoop to your level and get down like everybody else with you? No, I'm not. I'm gonna look at you.
Willius grins, a little satisfied.
She starts passing out cups of tea as you're having this
Sassy.
discussion.
Sassy.
I mean, is there a nice place to settle down that
There-
isn't going to crush
There
me?
are various armchairs with throws on them. Some of them have piles on them, some of them don't. You could probably easily find yourself one that doesn't have a pile on it.
Yeah, Kale's gonna plop into one and do some downtime.
Yeah, Fader's gonna give it a poke just to make sure it's not a mimic, and then she's gonna sit down. Because
It's
wasn't
something.
that like shown to them that they almost died in mimics? Or is that?
No,
is
it
that
was
out of
spoiled.
I don't think we
There's-
knew. It was just a
We
really
didn't know.
comfy chair.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. She
We didn't know.
sits. That's fine. She just sits.
That's
I
still a
couldn't
fair response in the wizard.
Yeah, yeah. This is a big
Any
nope.
experienced adventurer will always check this chair for being a mimic.
Yeah.
Why do you bring your weapons to the tavern? For mimics.
Mimics.
The table laughed. We have to kill it now.
Pretty much.
I don't like tea, so I won't drink any.
No, Fader will happily drink the tea, and she'll if she enjoys it, she'll ask for a little bit, and she'll trade some of her jungle special to her.
So you're checking to see if you enjoy it or not. Con save is usually appropriate for that. I use that to generate whether or not you have a reaction to the tea.
I mean, she loves tea.
It
so,
tastes pretty good.
Yeah, she'll ask for a little bit, and in turn she'll give the jungle special.
Jungle boogie.
Jungle boogie.
A wide grin splits on the face of this old woman. Oh, thank you, dear. No one ever seems to think to actually give me tea in return.
No, this is nice. It's almost like an oolong. It's lovely.
And she puts your tea in a nice little jar that seems to be empty.
So,
So
I know you have
odd
something to show us.
accents. Where are you from?
Oh. Uh. We're not from around
And
here.
where have you seen those? You call them death dragons. Where have you seen them before?
And the sewers of another city, in another world.
Fascinating.
Yeah, we're not
you,
from this world.
You are world travelers. That is
Yeah.
quite incredible, and yet you have gained Tiamat's favor. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, we kind of owed her.
Oh,
But it's just a small
Oh,
favor. It's
my.
not like we're not exactly on the best of terms anyway. We're kind of a neutral affection.
and she trusts you to take care of some of this problem.
Well, we're all quite capable.
Yes, we are.
I think it's more that we were dumb enough to think.
It's more of a recognition, I guess.
I like Kel's
More
response.
recognition, more we're dumb enough. Well,
You know.
Tatum.
We have an invested interest in this. Where we, yes,
Yes.
we need, yes.
Mhm.
Quite invested.
But I think it's best for everybody if we, kind of like Phaedra kind of like shrugs and throws her hands up a little bit, kind of maybe spilling her tea a little bit, save the worlds and everything, and existence, time, and all that good stuff.
Time. That's what I have not heard before when it comes to saving the world.
Well, we're not sure. We like I said, we're here to deal with the Church of the Union and get information from you on that, but we're not sure. But there's evidence that another entity that we've been dealing with may have some sort of connection or involvement, and his whole thing is time and trying to, I don't know. I can't explain it. Erase existence, reset things, start over.
Why would anyone wish to do that? That seems quite bizarre.
Well, exactly. And
Yeah.
the end result would also be probably nothing like this world or any world like it would ever be again.
She nods a bit.
We'll just use that books around, like books for an example. I don't think they would be a part of that world.
That would be most unfortunate. I love my books.
I would
Do you
imagine
love
that-
books?
Ah? Will says as he's putting down his tea and rather abruptly on the book.
On the as a book coaster.
Ah, young man, please be more careful with that.
I mean, I suppose they have their uses, but nah, I've never been much of a reader.
Ah, shame.
I have a light appreciation for books, but just new. But yeah. Like Vader seems like a little awkward.
Kale would just be like, I like fairy tales and cheesy
Oh, I
romance
do
novels.
love fairy tales and stories, but more oral traditions, you know?
Oral traditions are nice, but they're not good for sleeping on. You can't sleep on an oral tradition.
You don't use books. You use books as a pillow.
Oh, they can be quite lovely pillows, dear, after you finish reading
Are you
one.
sure you're not some sort of dragon sleeping on your hoard of books?
She looks at Kale and then winks at him.
Phaedra has magic eyes up, by the way.
I know. There's various magical things in there, and there's probably like a dim magical aura about her, but it's like not enough to trigger,
Oh my
worry.
So, lady, do you know anything how to deal with anti-magic field?
Oh, those are quite terrible, young man. Anti-magic fields. She kind of rubs her chin. Well, I would suggest getting rid of the source of it. that's assuming that you know what caused the field in the first place. Usually it's some kind of enchantment, but do you have another suspicion as to what might be causing some kind of anti-magic?
No.
The only other thing I could think of is the Tarston itself. But I don't know if that's right, or it's based in nothing. It's just, yeah, I don't know. No, we know nothing.
Well, I mean, we think we know that Lokar is there. It could be something of his doing.
If it's something of his doing, then we're not getting rid of it without going to the final fight, which would evidently end in us dying.
Well, that's an interesting thought, Vondel. If the anti-magic field is up, Lokar wouldn't have any power either, unless there was
But
something to negate it. Huh?
all he would need to do is stay near the Tarston, right? And then we wouldn't really have a good chance to get rid of him.
True. I mean, we don't know until we get in there, honestly. Really. I guess is there anything or any knowledge that you know that could, other than destroying it out at the source, is there anything, I guess, to negate the field that you know of?
As is,
Temporarily until we find the source?
that is the best of questions. One possibility would be. She thinks for a moment. Can any of you fly without magic?
I mean, I can crawl up walls.
Aminette raises her hand. I can for a little bit.
I can fall with style.
Because technically hers is a racial ability because she's an Asimar. So
I can fly
Does it
without
in the
magic.
description magical?
I'm looking in the description right now.
Mm.
She finishes
Because I
her,
will
her-
also
her-
ask
her tea and
racial.
sets it her cup also on a book before getting herself up from a chair that she was sitting on. Come along. I think you might be able to talk best by looking out at the source of the trouble. And
Here's
she
the
starts
wording.
moving towards the spiral staircase.
Doesn't seem magical to me.
I
Yep, doesn't
don't
list
see
magic. When we already established that if it doesn't specify magic in there, then it is an ability that isn't considered. It won't be negated by an anti-magic field.
Okay, then she
Sounds
can
good.
for an hour. Or, sorry,
Okay.
for a minute!
Wow, a minute.
For a minute!
Flying speed
Wow,
of 30
minutes.
feet.
Which-
Woo.
You gotta flap those
Better than
wings.
nothing! Can you fly bundle? No?
Yes, actually, I can.
Without
can?
magic?
Without magic?
Without magic?
I'm
Well-
only magic.
So there.
So
So
I
there!
mean,
sucks to be
Like
you then.
like Brock said, Sylvie can fly.
Yeah, Sylvie can fly.
I mean, there's also the flying saucer, but I don't know if that would stop working.
You left
Yeah,
that in
yeah,
another world.
Yeah, and that's
I
the
know,
place we can't get
I'm
to.
still pointing it out because we were talking about
Wasn't the
without
flying
magic.
saucer magical though?
Yeah.
Might be.
Magical flying? I don't know.
Oh, it's fine.
It would be fun to attack it with a magical saucer, but I don't think we could all fit in it.
No, just the one
Fucking
person. Maybe
We
two.
can
UFOs
cast-
and dragons.
Maybe
We
two.
cast
if we-
reduce on everybody and it'll be
If
fine.
we squeeze
Oh my
like
God.
Will or maybe Frock in there.
No, because once we hit the anti-magic film, we'd all like it expand inside the
Oh,
cockpit.
yeah,
and
we
just,
would.
like
Yeah,
be a
that'd be
sardine
bad.
can.
Yep.
You know what we do is we just take the saucer and abduct all their cows.
Yes, and leaves weird circles in the crop.
Oh lord.
We'll break down the chest of unity from the inside with paranoia and conspiracy.
I'm game if you are.
Yeah.
That's an interesting take on things.
Would be. I'm gonna follow.
Alright.
Yeah.
She has to show us.
Yeah.
She walks very slowly. It seems like that's her top speed of climbing these stairs all the way up to the top. And it is.
You know, for a nerd, you don't use magic that often.
Oh dear, I was being polite and just walking up here. Should I have?
Well, for your old age, you should probably use some kind of a spell to assist you.
Oh, yes, I suppose so. And you get up to the top floor, and there are books, and there are star charts, and there is a good-sized telescope. Like, you know, who's here has played the original Shadowgate, for example? There is this really cool observatory room in there, and it's basically that size of telescope.
I have not.
I mean, I'm thinking about the
I'm
one
not-
from the Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
I don't remember the one from there. I've probably seen it.
No, it doesn't matter.
But
Big telescope.
she puts her eye on the edge of the scope and then starts turning some cranks in the floor to wheel the telescope to a certain position. And even without putting her eye on there, you can see reflected light. The sky is now dark because you can look up at the sky even without the scope and see that it's nighttime now. The sun has gone down and like the moons are in a different position. But there is light coming out from the end of this telescope at the eyepiece, and she kind of like looks at you guys and says, "Who would like to look first?"
Who's got the best eyes?
Not me.
Will?
I mean, Will steps up.
Yeah.
Will is interested.
She lays down a couple of books to help boost you up there to see.
Oh, Will was already stacking books as a staircase.
Well, she helps.
See, books have more
Flips my
uses.
fingers.
She nods at that.
All right.
As
Will looks through.
you look through, you see the mountains, and the mountains in particular is a structure that starts kind of like up with a pyramid-like bottom and then moves up into it like a tower, big spire. I've actually seen buildings that look like what I would example, like some of the bigger, taller buildings in the world have like a pyramidal
Nice.
base and then build upward into a tower shape.
Like a skyscraper.
More so than a skyscraper, but yeah, kind of like that. The main thing that's probably taking your attention though is at the top is something very bright and glowing, like a beacon, except more, almost like a miniature sun, except not quite as bad on the eyes. This pure white light.
Is just gonna keep looking in and
You
looking at
see
it. And
that?
is that a source?
That is the source of trouble, I think. It started recently. It used to only glow a little bit, and sometimes it would glow other colors. But in the last couple of weeks, it has been glowing only light. Pure white light. And I've been seeing more and more of those disgusting little plant creatures that look a bit like dragons all over the place. They are quite invasive, and I think that has something to do with them.
So we could drop in.
Yes, depends on how well you are at keeping a low profile. I have occasionally spotted archers up there, but, well, if you could just find a way of distracting them somehow, you might be able to fly in close enough.
I was just thinking maybe we could just drop the paladin on them. Frock, could you survive about 500 feet of falling?
Maybe.
Oh, he is so small. He might survive that much.
Depends on what I land on.
Depends on
Okay.
if he goes into terminal velocity or not.
Even the smallest things can do.
Yeah, I'm thinking we just Frock as a cannonball. Drop Frock. Have him land on that thing. What's that? 50 d6?
I mean, I can do that if you want.
That's a maximum of 500.
Let's.
No.
Can I sleep on that though? Because I think
I
I,
mean- Let's.
so I can get
It's a plan.
so I can get Death Ward.
Oh god.
If I sleep
Or
tonight, I can
Hector's
get Death
anti-magic
Ward.
field.
Yeah, anti-magic field.
Yeah, but like if I drop down and I destroy whatever the thing, like the anti-magic field's done, so I can get back up, right?
Hold on.
Would kind of a fun idea,
That,
but
that's
we would have to
assuming
be.
that is the source of the anti-magic field.
Yeah, that is assuming that is a source.
Yeah,
and
Phaedra,
It's a-
Phaedra will speak. Have you determined the source of the magic? Like, what type of magic it is? Do you think that it's the anti-magic field, or is this something else that's fueling just the?
I don't know
death
what it is,
dragons?
dear. It's some. When I used to look closely at that tower, she kind of bites her lip for a moment and then looks over at Kale again and looks at the rest of you.
did
and
it
then
used to shine in different colors?
She sighs and says, "Yes, it did used to shine in different colors, and there were times that I noticed that there were long vines seemingly growing out of the top
It's
of it."
Tarston. It's the Tarston.
It's the Tarston. Yeah.
Yeah.
The different colors would correspond with different types of magic. Oh,
Yep.
remind me, what was white again?
White was the magical absorption field.
Ah, yes, magical absorption.
So it is the source of the anti-magic field.
And then we're pretty much screwed because we can only kill it, destroy the Tarston with the special magic items, can't we?
Yeah.
Meredith cracks up. "Hey!" And then she looks over at Kale. "Wouldn't that mean that the Tarston killing weapons would still work, even if there's otherwise seemingly anti-magic?"
I mean, yes, but like, aren't
What?
you the only one who has one? Except for like Kale, who doesn't want to hit stuff.
Does it always stay the same color? Or, I mean, she said something about shifting.
So
It
what?
can
We
do
just
it.
sit around and wait for it to shift.
Oh, we could maybe throw something at it to make it shift color, can't we? Isn't that how it works?
We can't
What
cast
did the other
magic at
color
it.
do again?
I mean, we
have a-
can.
but-
It absorbs the magic, and if it wasn't it like it changes to the color, which was you stated last. I don't remember. I mean, Frog wouldn't
Yeah.
know, but out of character.
Wasn't that? Yeah, that was the case. Wasn't? Or was it when it was null that it was affected and responded?
So if I remember correctly, there were four. Just going back to the fight that we had, the main crystal had 4 separate nodes that were active at once, and
Mhm.
each of them corresponded with a type of magic and damage.
So, could you hit something with this anti-magic field still around to make it force it to change?
Would fire work?
Like non-magical fire? Does it need to be magic to change it?
I don't know if it needs to be. It didn't seem to be.
It had
It just
to be
seemed to
the
relate to
opposite.
damage.
It had to be the opposite element in which it is shining, is what we determined.
That was to do more to it. Yeah, it was vulnerable to that.
It was vulnerable to its opposite.
Wait, so
So it's the it's anti-magic, but we need to hit it with magic.
An element.
Which we can't do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, which we
What-
can't do
what
because
is what is an element that is the opposite of?
magic. Forced. I mean, physical damage is the opposite of magical damage. I would imagine.
Looks at Frog again. Physical.
I can fly up there and like hit it with a mace.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm all for yeeting the goblin, but don't you hit like a Mack truck because of your smite?
I can hit pretty hard without smites.
I mean,
How dare you?
so the
Oh,
idea.
don't you? How dare me? I'm just
So, hold
trying
on.
to understand your magic.
I'm just trying to think of an attack plan here.
Hmm.
Give the big wart mushroom to his dragon. Dragon can carry, what was it, Frock and 2 more people, or just Frock and another
Rock
person?
and one other.
Frock
Frock
and one
and 2
other.
more people.
Frock and
Probably
2 more.
Probably Frock, Will, and a normal sized person could probably fit on the on a bigger
Or
soul.
take someone, maybe take someone else than Will, but if possible.
Well, it sounds like it's not going to be possible. It sounds like
Okay,
it has to
okay.
be too small.
Okay,
but
then. Well, okay, then
regular.
Frock, Will, and someone else. What was it? Amulet could fly?
Aminette can fly, and she also has another ability that she could be a distraction.
So
Because
she can
she can
fly up,
ghost
be a
walk.
distraction for the archers.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
This is not
Dragon
magical as
flies
well.
in with Frock, Will, and someone else. They will focus on archers, but Frock will mainly focus on the Tarston Stone. Kale, spider climb. It's a long way,
Yeah.
but it will keep you out of the fight whilst you cannot use magic. Once
Here's
you
the
get up there, you can probably use magic.
Yeah. If we can get the magic to work again, technically, one of our options is if we, because we have Amit who can fly, Kale who can just spider climb without the magic, even with magic, and a magic up, and then you have Will, Frock, and say one other person can get up there via the dragon, Sylvie. That still leaves 2 people that need to be able to get up there. I mean, if you can knock the anti-magic up, you already can dimension door up to 500 feet in a direction.
So my idea, Will's idea, we would have to get to the foot of the tower, and then enact this plan.
Mind you, Aminet can only fly for a minute.
But a minute is still with dashing.
Yeah.
And around.
I'm just
60
and
feet
rogue
per
bullshit.
round, 10,
Yeah.
600 feet of flying.
And I can
Couldn't
also,
we-
give
could-
Amunet haste.
Couldn't
That
we
would be-
also, instead of Sylvie attacking people, couldn't she also like just hold someone in her paws? That's one other
More of
person.
a weight. She's not going to be able to carry weight wise.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not,
weight
it's
wise.
not whether you're
Yeah.
going to fit on her.
But-
It's
But you could always, once she has landed up there and dropped us us, you could go for the next load.
True. She's pretty fun.
So here's another thing that Grizz said that I just want to throw in the mix. She had Meredith mention about her weapon. That has been made clear that is a chakram that can be thrown and returns back to her. So if we need to use one of the swords, she could yeet that. So that might be somebody
Alright.
to be on Sylvie as well.
Just so you can have a sense of scale, the building in question is well over 2,000 feet tall.
How?
Well, all right then. Even at the base,
It's nearly the size. It's nearly the height of the
the
tallest
highest
building in the world.
skyscraper in existence is only 14.
The highest skyscraper in existence is under 3,000 feet tall. It's the Khalifa in Dubai.
Yeah, that is
I'm
like
look- Yeah,
modern
it's 27,
infrastructure.
22, and that's with modern infrastructure, and that's not even habitable at the top.
Yeah,
Like that's all like radio tower.
yeah. No, this
Alright.
is taking into account this is taking
Fantasy.
into account the mountain that this is built around.
it's fantasy.
How much from like base of the tower to the top of the tower? That's the main question. Like without the mountain.
Yeah, I'm not spider climbing 20,000 feet in any
Yeah, no.
in any reasonable
No,
amount of time.
2,000.
No.
Well,
but
yeah,
yeah.
2,000. Yeah. No.
Same
But-
difference.
But this would probably be more like if you take away the mountain, get up to the mountainside, more like 1,000 feet probably. You're still dealing with a really tall tower.
So no, that's not going to work. You get whoever goes up there to break it is going to be on their own,
Yeah, no.
unless we can talk to some other dragons into helping us. This is the land of Tiamat.
What if we just-
Didn't we
Non-magic
have-
dragons.
Didn't we have 2 bronze dragons?
Yeah,
earlier?
we sort of left them behind though.
Yeah, but we could find them.
But this is the land of Tiamat. Surely we can request some aid. There was the mention of a blue dragon that we haven't run
Oh.
into, but exists.
Yeah.
Wasn't
yeah,
it
but
blue?
weren't we also said it doesn't like people?
Now, are you talking about this out loud, or are you just talking about this out of
Yes.
character?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So you're just currently being watched by this old woman at the moment as you're saying this, and she's just kind of like just very calm and just watching you, and there seems to be just a little look in her eye.
This is the fucking blue dragon, isn't it?
Yeah, I have a feeling it is. Yeah, Fader's gonna bamf out Cinder just for funsies.
Oh.
I mean, Squeak never goes away.
While they're talking, like she's just like kind of petting her, like, and she'll be on her lap.
The old woman just kind of looks at the dragon and just kind of tilts her head. I have never seen the like of one such as this. And she kind of like moves a little forward towards Cinder.
Cinder kind of like sits up, shakes her butt, and then pounces.
Oh my. A very friendly little wormling.
Yeah, sense emotions on this thing.
Seems to be lightly confused, but also interested in what's going on here.
Just out of curiosity, I would imagine Cinder would know what a dragon smells like, 'cause she's a dragon. Does she smell dragon?
Yeah, she does pick up on the scent of dragon in this place.
Yeah, So you remember in Jurassic Park when they're at the buffet with the kids and
Yeah.
the girls got the jello on the spoon?
Yep.
Vader's teacup starts doing the
Oh,
that just a little bit.
She carried her teacup all the way up to the observatory.
Yeah, she's not gonna waste tea. She loves
Okay.
tea.
That's fair.
I
Yes,
think
but
Kale,
yeah,
I
the
think
kettle.
Kale already
Yeah.
knows, and he's just not perturbed at all by this.
It's like suddenly realizing that Phaedra hadn't figured it out yet, seeing her reaction.
She's not the. I mean, she's getting better at being smart.
So
But yeah,
I don't-
it's
I don't know
just-
about the blue dragon. They sound very angry.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
They are
we're
high,
verbally-
aren't they the ones that are highly magically inclined? I forget.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't
believe
know.
so.
Will insulted a ancient blue dragon to her face before. He got away with it.
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
didn't like.
Is this on a bucket list? Or no? You've already you said
I already done it.
Yeah. So this
You
is
don't
old
need to do it
news.
again.
Yeah.
It's old hat now.
Yeah. So Phaedra's got a little bit of the shaky shake for. She's not saying anything, but her
No.
eyes are just kind of like. She just. Yeah. You just hear a little in the back
Yeah,
of
Green
the
not.
group.
Is the tea not agreeing with you, Phaedra?
And she does live in a fucking sapphire tower. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
I'm
Very, this is
of. I got a thing with heights.
Really? Heights? Are you sure?
I mean,
Passive insight beats that.
She's not a liar. She's not a liar.
Yeah, Will
Yes,
pass
sure.
beats that too.
Yeah.
That is fine.
I think everybody's does.
I mean, considering you're about to head into a fight on this tower, that would be Will looks again. Roughly 2,000 feet up. I think you might have an issue then.
It is a very tall tower, but of course it's partly because of the mountain, but I think they've built into the mountain too, so it's hard to tell where the tower starts and where the mountain starts. Only that tower is taller than the mountain itself.
I mean, if we were to remove a slice of the mountain, the tower would surely
well,
fall.
Why not?
She
Why
nods.
not just make the,
The only
tower collapse?
trouble would be the river would potentially be disrupted, and that would be very bad for the area.
Yes, but
Terraforming
isn't as hard as you think it is.
Yeah, just use magic to terraform.
Once the anti-magic field is gone, I
and fix
could
the river.
If you could,
I could
Yeah,
extend
it
my services.
Really isn't that difficult.
how big is this anti-magic field? You said
Well,
you
I don't
seemed to have
know.
a knowledge of it.
500 feet ish.
Yeah, the
Well-
hobgoblin did mention that they got close, but
Yeah. You could easily take a slice out from below. Of course, then once you start, that would probably bring out whatever forces are inside to attack as well. But you could do it.
Maybe
Would that be beneficial for us?
maybe we could
I-
dig into the tunnel from beneath.
Like the thing is, if we make the tower collapse and stop the river from flowing, we can fix that problem easily.
Just give us some
I
time.
mean, we literally built a shelter from nothing. When we
Yeah,
were
we
in
built a
next
little
door.
shrine out of nothing just because. Yeah, we just need an earth and waterbender, and you have a fucking druid in your party.
Yeah.
Yes.
Druid and an artificer.
Druids are not
Yeah,
not as common out here. Most of them, I believe, live in the forest.
The druids prefer these kind of types of environments.
Although, of course, I've heard that there are water druids that, but either they work at the plant or they live up farther north.
Very reclusive bunch.
Like, I can literally shape stone and earth.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and Will could just, I don't know, earthquake top of the mountain to bring more material down.
All right, so I think it's a good time for because I don't want to break up the flow of the
Yeah.
conversation. A good time for a 10-minute break.
Fair enough.
Be back
But
soon.
to just end the conversation, it feels like we have two plans: either fly up and deal with it hands on with the help of a dragon, maybe, or bring the tower down.
I
and
mean, I
deal
guess
with the
I need to
aftermath.
Artificial nuke inbound.
schmooze a little if we're gonna go for the up top one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have a map prepared if we. Yeah, I do have a map prepared if you do manage to just go into the tower to fight. But it's always interesting to see what you might come up with for everything else. So
Well,
I
if
am
I'm
eager to
going to
find out
shape
which.
this land a little bit,
Yeah.
let's do that.
All right, because you guys are powerful. See you soon.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I'm only able to use 5th level spells, so it's really not that powerful spells I use.
Be right.
I'm back. Sorry about that. Are we on break? Hello? I'm gonna assume we're on break. Nobody's here.
Hey there. Welcome back. Welcome back. So who are we still waiting on?
Looks like. Well, no, never mind.
Hello.
I'm back. Quentin, maybe? Nope. There's Quentin. I think we're all back.
I'm here.
I'm back.
So you guys ready to continue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
To respond in response to what I see Shiori says in Dwarvish, Phaedra doesn't say anything, but you see Cinder kind of perk up for a second and jump from the woman over to Mama Shiori
Aw.
and just kind of like does a little like, head nuzzle purr, and when she touches, she conveys the thought, dragon. To Shiori.
Kind of just nod at that.
So what's everyone else doing during this?
Feel an urge to badmouth dragons.
I mean, what would Will do?
Why am I being looked upon as the one to drive things forward?
I would
'Cause
think
he's the
Kale
chaos
would
gnome.
kind of, having mentioned the possibility of recruiting
Mhm.
local dragons, he would be like, you wouldn't happen to know of
Yeah,
any
first.
that are seeking employment at the moment, or would be willing to lend a hand to.
She kind of rubs her chin a bit. Well, this is my land, and I've always looked at the river as my own. So perhaps
Your
there
land.
could be a good deal here.
I mean, we just need a drop off. You wouldn't actually have to. They wouldn't actually have to participate so much
Again, there
unless they
is
wanted to.
a small problem with potential snipers.
Watch.
Kale is gonna go like he knows. I mean, I think he's smart enough to figure it out when she winked at him. Probably. He's like, well, surely.
He's not as dumb as some people think he is.
No, I mean, when it comes to dealing with dragons, I think he's got a little bit of.
An edge.
Might be the only thing he's got smart about. He's like, I would think a lady of your stature wouldn't have to worry about some measly arrows unless you think they're using something more
That is true.
dangerous.
dear.
I mean, the arrow can't be magical.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
not like they're
true.
using an hour of dragon slaying. Although
Where-
once it
where is
passes, but once it passes out of the anti-magic field, does it suddenly become dangerous?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
We'd
exactly.
we'd have to come in tight and fast, and
Yeah, but have you seen how like
I mean,
have you seen
we
how
come-
birds of prey skydive at max velocity?
I'm sorry. What is the range of? What's the max range of the best bow?
Like 180,
Six-
360.
No,
Then
600
there's
advantage.
feet.
At
Then there's no
disadvantage.
problem there because the anti-magic field is 500, right?
Okay, so 600 is the max range at disadvantage. With that, but that's with
That's
disadvantage.
disadvantage there.
And a longbow,
So-
yeah. 150 is max with normal.
Also, we'll
We
be
did-
traveling at 120 feet a turn.
The
Every
only problem
second.
is once we start getting close enough to drop us off, that'd be the problem.
Well, unless we come from below and we go up, because I would imagine snipers at the top would be looking more outward and up in their area, looking down. I mean, maybe down, but yeah, I don't know.
Can I just add something here? I know this will be bringing up mechanical questions.
Mhm.
But technically, a falling creature falls at 500 feet per turn. How good is a ancient blue dragon at stopping itself from falling?
Not as good as an adult, possibly. Or
Cool.
maybe
It might be a
better,
little
because of
rickety,
the
So
dragon.
I
if we
think
just
you can pull it
fly
off.
really high up, we could go 500 feet per turn and then stop.
Yep.
And that is an entry. That is how you drop a dragon on a party.
That honestly would be terrifying.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like
The
suddenly, dragon.
The old lady grins. I like the way you think, young gnome.
And Kayla would be like, look, if considering we survived this, I'd owe you.
What? You look as young as a spring priggan.
I thank you. I'm nowhere near as young as I would like. But when age comes wisdom.
Indeed.
Fader looks at Will.
What? It stops
She just
coming
kind
at
of
some
shrugs
point.
and sips her tea. She's
Yes, but after a certain age, you stop listening to that wisdom.
Maybe so.
You grow
and just
wiser
say,
beyond
"Fuck it."
wisdom.
Just say fuck it.
Wiser beyond wisdom.
Excuse me.
That explains a lot, Will. She just smirks.
Fair enough.
Just that explains a lot. All those
Mm.
actions. Wiser beyond wisdom.
Yes, one can't call them wise anymore.
Just refresher. You said that this light that you showed Will, it's stayed stagnant white, or has it been?
It
You said
has
it
stayed
changed
stagnant
colors.
white the last few weeks, but it used to change colors a lot. And
But
it
it
used to be
hasn't
less
changed at all.
intense. Not in the last few weeks, no.
All right.
I have not observed it at any rate.
I mean, the telescope is there. Anyone can just walk up and
Yeah.
look at it.
I know. No, I was just yeah. Just RP asking.
Alright.
Hmm. A strength from above would get us wouldn't have a couple benefits as well. One, we would get to our objective at the top faster, and two, we wouldn't spend as much resources fighting our way up.
Also, if we come from the side of the sun, like put the sun behind us, they won't be able to shoot at us. Because the sun will be shining in their faces. If we do it at daytime, of course.
I mean, if we do it from above, they're gonna have to fire up with gravity fighting.
That's true as well.
Hmm.
A little bit above, maybe.
And the whole suddenly ancient dragon within 6 seconds will probably throw them off a little bit.
And here's my question. What if we combine the two situations?
Midday.
Midday, sun above them, and gravity against them.
Oh god, that's a dirty plan.
I mean, I think at this point we need to pull out the dirty plans.
I mean,
What
I feel
if,
like that's something I'm gonna use as a DM later.
So, Mr. Artificer, do you know how to make any kind of like incendiary devices that we could possibly drop to encourage people not to, like, because we could drop things
I
from
could,
fairly
those
high.
will technically be magical.
You don't know
But
any
how
alchemy.
large of a boulder could an ancient dragon hold?
Aminet raises her hand. I know how
I-
to make Molotov cocktails.
I mean, anything that would give us an advantage, like
Couldn't we
throw
tech-
some Molotovs at them
couldn't-
before we drop in. Like
hey,
clear the
hey.
area.
How about we fill a bag of holding with just kitchen knives and just fist-sized stones? If we just put it inside out above them, like that's a hailstorm of death right there.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
fuck
you're
you.
not surviving
But
the rock.
I'm
that
not
falls down.
sure-
Well, I know. We drop all of our coinage. That's such a
Oh
height.
god, just convert all our coins into copper and just like fucking a rain of
We
death.
have a lot of gold.
We kill you with wealth. we throw money at the problem until it goes away.
I just see the
Oh my
first few
God,
coins falling
yes.
down, and the guy's just like, huh, and going to pick it up, and then just getting pelted to death by the rest of them.
Oh my
Although,
Yeah, I know, we exchanged all of our
being,
coinage
that
into
being
copper.
said, guys, I have heard the drop a penny off of the Empire State Building theory get debunked before. However, that
Oh,
being
really?
said, yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you won't
It's-
die from it, but
Yeah,
I mean,
that being said, enough of them raining down could still take out people.
I'm
also
thinking
like,
a good bit of fist-sized rocks.
yeah, just some fist-sized rocks. No one will be worried that we're just filling a bag with
Now
fist-sized
that can
rocks.
smash skulls of people that aren't wearing helmets.
Yeah, and even if you're wearing a helmet, that's gonna hurt.
I'm gonna
I
knock
feel
you off
like
your
Tink,
feet.
tink, 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 tink.
Huh, is it hailing?
But I like the idea of Molotovs. As long as there's not a lot of flammable down there, it'll burn the
I-
people.
Also can pull off a patch which will bring one bullseye lantern full of oil.
Well, that's
And that's not magical. That exists now.
nice.
Or could the madam, how big is her breath sweep? Could she just sweep the tower before it, like, is that magic? Is
It
a
would
breath
be-
attack a magic?
Yeah, is
It's
that
lightning though,
Jeez.
specific.
Could she sweep the top of the tower before we land, and then we could drop off? Is lightning, is it a cone? I don't know enough about blue dragons.
Oh, is
I'm
it a
sorry,
cone or a
Gris, but
line?
we are going to bullshit this as much as we can.
The
Mhm.
oil.
Oh, I was
and
muted. It's a
Molotov
line.
combo
It's a
stuff.
line, and
It's
that
a line.
yeah, and that's fine. Bullshit away. This is great.
Continue to
Just-
bullshit. Go on.
Lather
We
the
did a bullshit.
entire area in oil. and then
Oil
put
and
Molotov
lightning
down.
breath. Would that catch it on fire?
We need to get oil, babe.
Avatar taught me that lightning can be produced through firebending.
Oh, I was like, whenever I hear Avatar, I think of the movie Avatar, not Avatar: The Last Airbender.
No.
Water
the plants.
Radiant damage did something for the black, I thought. With
Did it?
can we just? I mean, there's enough of us here, and for all due fairness, it was 2 years ago. What was the opposite of necrotic? There was a
Radiant.
black crystal.
Radiance.
Radiant.
Yeah.
I mean, I
So-
could go blast the river. I don't know if that's gonna.
Rest the rain
Bless
down
the
in Africa.
river.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
I mean, well, Wait a second.
Local adventuring
No.
party.
Could we combine like call lightning with like a bless spell and have like a fucking holy bolt go down?
Oh, that's a cool thought.
Oh my
Just
lord.
fucking
Alright, bless the.
go.
Well, have we
God's
determined
despise.
how high up the bubble extends?
Well,
Or do we have any indication of how high up? Because I mean,
Well, the thing,
Eldritch Blast is 120 feet.
well, here's how it works. The indication from your research and memories is that whatever this anti-magic property is, it's extending from the Tarstan itself. It seems to be at the very top of this tower. So it can imagine that it's 500 feet from the top.
So the bubble extends 500 feet outward.
Most likely.
Yeah, so like a sphere.
'Kay.
Is what I'm imagining.
So non-magical bullshit go. How much damage could ball bearings do from 500 feet up? Or fist-sized rocks, or copper coins.
Oh,
Like
we
how?
need to get
What's
a
the
ball
terminal velocity of 500 feet?
Oh,
No,
I
I don't
am
know.
all
Are we
for
bringing math
getting more
in again?
ball bearings. That worked out wonderfully against the Giants.
I mean,
And-
ball bearings also make the terrain
Oh my god,
shit
yeah.
for people.
Ball bearings would probably cause at least 1 point of damage each. There's 1,000 of them in there. There's an indication that that at least a certain percentage will hit, and so that means that a bag of ball bearings could probably kill several people.
We need a fuckload of ball bearings, or and yeah.
So I'm just trying to remember, like, the Tarstan fight took 2 whole sessions, and we did fuck all until Logreth showed up with his weapons. So we're gonna need to do a lot of damage. I think ball bearings is the way to go.
Also, other question. I was wondering this earlier, but I forgot. Can I even destroy the thing without a magical swordy thingy?
No, I don't think so.
The crystals themselves are pretty tough against non-magical weapons, and even tough against magical, depending on the type. However, each crystal is connected by vines. Those, on the other hand, are not necessarily immune to physical attacks.
I mean,
is that the
yeah,
same
but
entity?
that won't
That-
stop
And
the.
and while the nodes can stop up and store damage to keep the entire thing from shutting down necessarily, if you take out enough of those, you might be able to damage the entire system with a proper attack on
Yeah, but
using the vines.
Yeah, but I don't think would destroying the vines stop the anti-magic stuff. I don't think so.
It might provoke a reaction from the Tarstan that requires it to shut down the anti-magic stuff.
Oh, that's right. It rotated, and if we force okay, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause that's what
Okay.
that's what you saw kind of last time. That was just a node.
Yeah.
Just a question to the party. The last time you fought the Tarzan, was that the fight where Will spent 10 turns trying to summon?
Elemental.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
Yeah. So what if? No.
You summoned it before we went in.
Yeah. No. Exactly.
Well, if it reacts like other summons, it might get poofed back somewhere.
Yeah, but would it come back
Hmm.
if the anti-magic field would disappear?
It would probably come back to where the exact spot that it poofed in, which would be.
Oh, perfect.
So, like
it's
500 feet in the air.
600 feet up.
That's a good
Oh,
thought.
that is terrifying. Man.
Cannonball!
No, if I like that.
Oh my god.
Just goes through the ceiling of the tower, goes through each floor.
And we destroy the tower, and then that's not good.
Just the tower, though, not the mountain.
Just the tower. Okay. Yeah, true.
And you have a plan in case your collateral damage does cause damage to the source of the Kandala River. Fixing that.
Just the blockage. Just the blockage.
Yeah.
Temporary blockage.
Right. It definitely looks like you're covering your bases.
Fix.
Yeah. And you have diplomatic people that can reassure the the people of the state that, oh yeah, don't worry about it, we're fixing it. It was only a small blip. We're good. The people have been, the bad guys have been taken care of.
All good. We got this.
Yes.
Don't worry, we know what we're doing.
I'm like, we do?
We were the bad guys all along.
Yes.
I refuse.
I wouldn't say
As far
bad.
as the
just
Tarstan's
more-
concerned, you guys are the bad guys. Probably Galen Cole thinks that too.
But he's
Well,
Last I checked, I didn't want to
Okay.
end the world as we know it.
Yeah.
Bucket list.
Yeah, you know.
Okay,
That's
so
fine.
what's the plan?
That's a good question.
Well, what is the plan?
I don't know.
Do we have a plan?
Yes.
Do we ever?
I mean, we have multiple plans, so we just need to streamline it into a plan.
Okay,
And be
So-
sure that everyone is on the same page.
let me
Why let us
just.
start now?
Yeah, so from what I'm getting is we all fly on the back of an ancient blue dragon and go up towards the top.
Mm-hmm. High above the
Dive
top.
bomb in while dropping ball bearings and Molotov cocktails. Hope we take out the Tarstons anti-magic, and then deal with it up there. Is
Yeah.
that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure out how to escape when we get there.
And hey, don't worry about it. If for some reason the tower implodes while we're up there, it's 2,000 feet. It would take 4 turns for you to crash to the ground. You think of something in 4 turns, right?
Do we have that ring of spell storing with fly in it still?
Well,
Maybe.
if he didn't replace the spell,
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay. I'm
I can get 3 people. He could get 3 people.
I'm preparing for when things go tits up. That's all.
Yeah.
'Cause it probably
Fair
will.
enough.
I can sort of semi slow down when I'm falling. Meredith pipes up.
Nobody cares about you.
Wow.
That was
I mean, rude, but true.
She
Though.
escalated
socked
quickly.
she socked
Oh,
Gale on the
quick.
shoulder.
I was gonna say that.
The other NPC, as Lars reports up and says, "As long as we've taken care of Lokar, you do not need to worry anything about me. My time will have finally come to an end."
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you
that
know.
fucker. He's
Yeah,
gonna
that
be there.
fucker's gonna be there.
Uh-huh.
That's my sheet.
Oh yeah, that's right. We have a mummy.
Oh yeah, sir, do you mind being in a bag of holding?
At least until we clear the anti-magic.
As long
Yeah,
as you
'cause
restore
she'll
my
just die.
proper form, I will be fine in a bag of holding.
All right. Well, that takes care of him.
That takes care
That's
of that.
fine.
Maybe not.
Well, I have a mummy lord. We've had vomit spiders in bags of holding before, and also my wife. So why not? It's fine.
My wife.
What haven't we had in a bag of holding by now? It's
Common sense.
An ancient dragon, a beholder, a slot. I can think of a lot
we
of
have
things.
we have parts of all of that in the bag of
Oh,
holding.
didn't we
right
have a
now.
slot in
No,
there?
that's in
Yeah.
Amanette's bag of holding. She's got all the fun bits.
I mean,
Alright,
same,
the fun bit.
different.
I know.
But yeah. Yeah. I will ask if I can have the ward for Sylvie, so she can not be one shot by everything anymore. Hopefully.
I mean, sure, but is she going to be able to fit through stuff?
We'll figure something out. We'll just make a bigger door. Problem solved.
Should be fine. We don't need to worry
All
about it.
right. And Amanette will reach out and she'll grab the big wart and she'll
Wait.
take a moment and she'll remember
This is-
Glabagool and Kurt and sigh a little bit and then toss the mushroom
Th-
over to.
Doing this now?
Meredith is like, wait,
no,
I thought we
I'm
were waiting
just giving
for.
it, not
I thought we were
eating.
waiting for
I'm just giving
daytime.
it. Yeah. No, I'm just giving it to Frock.
Yeah, I thought we were
Sylvie-
gonna have one last, night to carouse since this may be our last. Like sleep in a real bed, have a decent meal.
Yeah, I'm Phaedra kind of like looks over at Shiori for a second and then back to Kale. Yeah, I'm all for that. One last night before things get crazy.
Agreed.
Let me
So
delete-
this is gonna be a fight against the Tarston, so I need to change my spells all around.
Yeah, and
Uh,
so people can change spells.
Yeah.
Sylvie is a young silver dragon, right? If I give that to her.
Don't feed it to her now.
No, but like I need to change the stats and stuff.
She will get the size, but not the stats of a young silver dragon. So
Oh, so she's gonna be one shot anyway.
it's just
Might
it's
well
just,
not
it's
take her.
just, it's just token size. It won't actually adjust the stats, and sadly.
I'm assuming the
Uh,
big dragon, the ancient, can carry us all without needing to risk Sylvie, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I just have a dragon I never use because she's gonna get one shot by everything. But sure.
You would never.
she almost got one shot like 3 times. So
No.
Yeah,
don't believe
no.
I
it.
mean, you
don't
can
believe that at
transfer the
all.
damage to yourself so that you get one shot instead.
wait, can I let me double check?
Can we
I
not
thought you could do
go-
that. I thought you took that mounted feat.
At this point,
I do it.
the old tabaxi woman says, "So, what exactly are you going to give me for actually transporting you lot there?"
Saving your world, this land.
Saving
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah, I mean, you get to keep.
She reaches over and pats Phaedra on the head. It's like, that's a nice thought, dear, but I like things that are interesting, books and maybe little contraptions.
You know what? All right, Sylvie.
For the
Kale,
hat.
Kale,
In a
Kale,
pinch, I will
sort
take
of-
gold or silver or gems.
Give the
but
hat.
I prefer.
How
The
about
hat. The hat.
The gnomish
How
one.
about
The
How
gnomish hat.
about-
Oh
the
God,
propeller
yes.
hat. The propeller hat.
What's
Yes,
What's
the
Kale
propeller
saying?
hat.
How-
What, guys?
I was going to say, how about the fact that I have contents on a completely different continent that you don't know exists, maybe, and
Really? Another continent?
technology and stuff. I don't know. Which continent is fucking Emwarin on?
It's over in Eberus.
He's like,
She
he's
reaches
like,
over
we-
and
we have
puts her
knowledge
arm
of-
through Kale's and goes, "Oh my dear, we must sit and chat a while. You must tell me all these sort of stories."
yes, after we do this thing and then survive.
You must give me a token first, and then maybe we can see. There's no guarantee
Phaedra
you will
just
survive.
slowly walks up behind her and
Snap the
just
neck.
puts.
No.
No. Well, she's like linking arm in arm with Kale and just puts the propeller helm right on her head.
Oh, this is lovely. Thank you, dear. You are a very nice young dwarf.
Just what's up? It's like,
That noise.
because ancient blue dragon. She's like, oh god.
I'm sure that's fine. Just an ancient blue dragon.
You could see her with her free arm just playing with the propeller.
And of course, she would be let known that it is a magical that can't cast levitate. So, walking up and down the staircase will not be that much of an issue now.
Mm-hmm.
It will not cost me any
Yep.
spells. How lovely. Do you have any books?
No.
She looks at Will.
Moving on.
Did we did we get rid of the smut?
We gave this
We
stuff
did.
to the
We did.
yeah.
You already have a
Give away the
trinket.
smut.
That's all you asked for.
Roll persuasion.
You also have Kale knowledge that he's willing to give you once all of it is over. Literally
Oh my
what
god,
you
yeah,
asked
that
for.
does look like that.
Like
I
legitimately.
mean, if
what you
Kale,
asked for.
I think Kale gave away his sending stone. So,
Yeah,
how
he
about a
did.
thorn coin?
Oh, do you want to see a friend?
Here, look. He pulls out the thorn coin.
I'm still
and
waiting
he's like,
for a
look.
persuasion from from Vondel.
I'm just stating the fact.
But it's still a persuasion check. She reaches out her hand for the coin. Oh, this is quite fascinating.
And I'm going to use Flash of Genius to make that +5 to that.
Oh, so an 18. Okay.
Yeah, he'll explain the thorn coin. He's just
Because-
like,
She seems to be ignoring you, Vondel.
look. What,
This-
an 18?
I rolled
An
a
18.
I rolled a 19 on my dice. That's without any of the additives.
We're giving her more than we need to at this point.
I don't need the stupid coin.
I know, but she's asking for more. Like she asked for more, even though we gave her what she asked for.
Oh, you are most wrong about that. I was asking for payment for each of you. She stares.
No,
at
that's not how
Vondel.
this works.
And then you hear a more scary voice coming from her. It is how it works. I have not
But-
had my supper yet. And she just stares
Listen-
at the dwarf.
You would not be the first dragon we
Hold on.
killed.
Here's the thing. We are a group. So we count as 1. We're also 1, saving your world. 2, working with Tiamat. Those 2 things are really, really important.
We're gonna tell on
That
you
is-
to Tiamat.
That is, you're literally
roll
if you kill
persuasion,
any of
Will.
us,
Oh,
like if you kill any of us, you're pretty much betraying Tiamat.
we're gonna tell on you to Tiamat. Wilda is not good at persuasion. He always rolls low.
How big
I
is
really
she?
hate. Can we kill this dragon at the end
Is
of
she-
the
Kale's,
game?
No, we
Kale's
need
just
a-
gonna sort of be like, well, we can always just go
Is she
back and
adult?
find those brass dragons. I'm sure
I
they'll
really-
help us out.
Roll persuasion,
How
Kale.
old is she? How old is she?
Really do not like this person.
She looks like to be a very old lady.
No, like dragon wise.
She looks like to be a very old lady, and you heard that
She's
the
an
dragon is a
ancient-
very large
An
dragon.
ancient dragon.
I really do not like this person.
I just got a persuasion of
the
31. I was like, well,
dragon-
maybe
the
we'll just go
dragon
find this brass
The
dragon.
dragon reaches over and pats Kale on the hand. Oh no, dear,
What
don't
if-
worry about it. I'll carry you up there. And I suppose I could take your friends too. And she sighs. You are
also-
such a lovely little elf boy. You must stay alive so you can tell me some stories. I really want to know about this other continent.
Continent.
And I don't really want her to know any of this.
You're not
Th-
native to
th-
this world.
This character has
Shush.
pissed me off, to be honest.
Mm.
That's fine.
Look, we'll stab her in the back later. She's an evil dragon. We can do that. It's fine.
Kale needs options for endgame because he has no country and no friends. He needs somewhere to retire.
I have a queen to return to.
Everybody else is either gonna die, is either slated to die, or is gonna go off and be happy in their lives. Kale got nothing. He's saving options. Sure, he might be the pet of an ancient blue dragon, but better than being alone.
Well,
Better than
There- I
serving
mean,
a vampire, isn't it?
I don't
There
think he's
are-
going back to Lauren.
Yeah.
yeah. Shuri and Phaedra are trying to start their clan, so maybe Kay will get an invite.
Oh, but you'd kick him out within a month. You'd get fed up with him.
We'll put him to work.
Yeah. We'll put
put
him
him to
working the rice fields.
Yep.
Yeah, no, he'd leave. He'd just be like, no. He'd be like,
Be like,
I'm not
"Yeah,
that
no."
desperate for family. Sorry. Manual labor is.
Welcome
Now, if
to
you
the
need it-
rice fields, motherfucker.
Now, if you need an interior decorator.
I mean, we would need somebody to help,
Yes.
like, yeah, redecorate. Yeah.
And take care of the baby kobolds.
Well, the kobolds. Well, we can't. We haven't discussed like end game. But I mean, if the kobolds want to come up to the village, yeah. I mean,
So are we including the Gith babies in the rebuilding of your clan?
No, they're already
'Cause we don't
sold
know
off
what
as
to do with-
slaves.
oh my God, no!
Or are they
Santa took them.
already enslaved by Santa as extra
We have
elves?
not dealt. We have not
Santa
dealt with the
doesn't
gift
enslave
children
people.
yet. Yeah, but if they couldn't be reunited with their people, then yeah, we take them on in the clan.
You're gonna have some weird Gith elf clan.
Oh, it's
It'll
gonna
be-
be
it'll be
like
fun.
a whole hodgepodge of chaos up there.
It already was. to
Of
begin
many
with.
adopted
Yeah,
children.
true. Yep, it'll be a good time. There's also a displacer piece just kind of chilling up there. That's somewhat friendly.
Yep. Beast's
I
old
will
friend.
name it. It is friend. He's good friend.
So I
was-
suppose if we're settled, we should go and make our preparations and whatever else we need to do.
Yep.
I guess we'll meet up at morning here, then.
And you said you're also going to try to gather weapons and armor off of the scale guard.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Meanwhile,
So here's a question: do you guys want to worry about role playing any of this stuff out, or do I want to just hit the highlights and skip on ahead to the next morning?
I mean, do we want to start this session? Do we have some things we want to get out of our systems beforehand? Do we have some specific
Yep,
things that we need to?
That's what I'll discuss about.
When am I getting my mani-pedi?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This shit's
Important
gonna
questions.
take like a long time. I
Yeah,
think we
I
might
don't-
as well start it with a full session, so that we don't break it up halfway.
Yeah,
but
I think the fight needs to start
Yeah.
at the start of the next session.
Yeah.
That would be the best
Yeah,
action.
that's why I was gonna ask. It's like, because you still have time to do other investigation, and anything else you might think you might need before taking off for the for the mountain tower.
I sneak off alone and do it solo. No,
You've done that before with a character and it did not end well.
Wait, he did it with this character and it didn't go poorly.
it went
Yeah.
fine last time I did this.
No. This was several years ago. It was Jade, I
Yeah,
think.
no,
and it was
we're talking about this character there.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Anywho,
Anyway, anyhow,
ni hao,
ni hao, motherfuckers.
Hmm.
So, what is each of you doing?
Oh.
Ominet's gonna go make Molotovs.
All right.
Oh,
That-
I can
that's
help.
Oh
I
god.
do-
response.
I do though need probably
Meredith
better
and I can
armor.
help empty the bottles.
Like,
And Meredith
I
will
can
help,
help
will assist
empty
you
the
with that.
Yeah, so
don't-
Team Drinking and Team Molotov are now combined.
Yeah,
Okay,
Alright.
well, that's
I'll consult my god and see.
I mean, I guess we
the
only
other
need to
can
drink
do.
them halfway, right? Because we still need some of the alcohol in there to like blow up, right?
Yep.
Unless
do
we
we- or
wanted
we-
to use oil, yeah.
Yeah.
Half alcohol, half oil, and then
So we probably spend a bunch of money.
Oh yeah, I don't know how much, but
I also do need better armor.
Well, ale doesn't cost that much in
I
bottles.
still
It's
have
like
scale mail.
okay. Yeah, anybody? So who needs regular weapons? Who needs better armor? Yeah, I guess we need to take care of that before we go.
Sure,
So
Shuri will be fine because even though her weapon won't be magical, she can still have it. She'll be
Yeah.
fine.
So have we determined whether so I have glamored studded armor. Is my armor still 15 or is it 14 like
it's
regular
15.
studded?
We've-
'Cause it's a plus
we-
one.
We talked about this before.
Okay.
Those sort of effects still work. However, the other magical effect, which essentially, any other magical effect, including the stuff that keeps your armor from being damaged, in things, would go away. So unlike the normal magical item, if it gets dipped in acid somehow, it will start to decay.
So I guess then I would just want a set of studded leather and a longsword. See, I have longsword and short sword. I need one that can do finesse because I won't have the strength to use it.
rapier.
I mean, short sword
Right.
is finesse.
So
it doesn't
basically,
have
I think
here's why I was asking whether you wanted to roleplay it out or just be given the highlights. The highlight version of this is basically anything on the weapons and armor table that is just all basic, including plate mail, though it of course has a dragon theme to it, and probably be decorated more white in color.
Yeah, I'll be able to change
Would
that.
be available to you guys. These items would be on loan. The people giving them to you would hope to get them back. Like basically, you'd be considered thieves if you survived this and then don't return it. But
Even if we save
Oh.
the world.
Who cares? We don't live here.
These,
I was about to say.
yeah.
I mean, we have the money to buy it, right? If we needed
Yeah,
to.
we
yeah, and if you want to,
I mean,
you can,
if we
you can
never
bypass
return-
and just buy it if you want to spend your money on that.
Yeah, we won't.
But the
yeah,
scale- the
'cause
scale
we don't know
guard-
if we're gonna have to.
In that case, it wouldn't be decorated with scales. But the scale scale motifs, because they're actually not usually made out of scales. But stuff from this being borrowed from the scale guard does have Tiamat themes, and the stuff that they would be offering you would be white in color, armor wise.
Okay, so studded short sword for Kale. Anybody else need anything? Vondel?
Yeah, probably upgrade to plate.
Okay.
Honestly.
Oh, and I guess
you
if
want
I
adamantine?
Yeah, if you need
Sure.
adamantine or anything like that, you'll need to either pay for it or have it on you in like a bag of holding or something.
No, we're paying for it.
All right. Yeah, you
okay,
do. You do
so-
find places that do sell those in town. So
I'm just writing this down so I can, and then I'll deduct it from the thing.
Yeah.
So adamantine plate, studded.
Will has an armor, leather armor, +1. I think. No, maybe.
when it comes to buying actual bottles of booze instead of just buying like a cup of booze at a tavern, it costs 1 silver for each bottle filled with low quality booze.
I imagine we
Okay.
have 100.
You want 100 of them?
I'm just saying, the drinkers.
Yeah,
Choice.
well, between them, they're like drinking sips from each bottle just to give it a bit of air. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
so
need
how-
airspace for the wick
Yeah.
Yeah.
patch.
or is
So
anything
how
else
many-
you might need, like cloth or rope? I think you can find it in the book at cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, please don't make me put the silk in for the wicks.
No. Jesus.
Oh, Chris, would have
He'll
any,
just kill himself.
would,
How many
would
bottles
this,
do we want?
Would this country have any dragon armor?
Hold on, question.
Like Sylvie armor?
Yeah.
Dragon scale armor. That's a good question. Give me a
No,
one.
no.
No, like dragon armor for the dragon.
Oh, armor for the dragon. That would that they don't have any on hand. That would be a commissioned blacksmith's piece. That would probably take a few days
that'd be
to
too
create.
Yeah.
Question. Is anyone of us actually using the shield of Uwen Rune?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Why?
What does
No,
it
I'm
do?
just checking that we're
No,
actually
no.
using it. I don't remember if anyone took it.
Yeah, I have it equipped.
Good, alright.
I mean, it's a
It's a
pistol.
shield.
Good shield.
Yeah, it's a good shield.
I also have proficiency in pistols, but I don't think they have pistols here.
No, they don't. They are lacking in
But,
that
like-
sort of equipment.
But maybe
Yeah,
like a
sadly.
longbow and some arrows for me too, just because if I need to be arranged.
Okay.
Sounds good.
How many arrows do you want?
Just give me a quiver, like 20.
Okay.
More than enough. I think I had a crossbow at some point, but I think I ditched it because
I could have lended you my crossbow if you wanted.
I mean that works too if you're not using it. But you might
Yeah.
need it. What are you gonna do? Are you,
Punch.
you're gonna do melee?
Sword. Yeah. I'll have the AC to comfortably be in melee.
I mean, I have enough hit points that I could be in melee for a bit, but I'd prefer not to.
And then once the anti-magic field's gone, I can just start punching.
And
Hmm.
then I just started punching.
And then also the crossbow that you borrowed from me you won't need to care about the bolts at that point.
Fair.
How many Molotovs do we want?
That's a good question. I was trying to think. I mean,
How robust are our livers?
Hmm.
I would say minimum like 3 or 4.
Well, how many
We don't-
how many players do we have, and is everybody gonna throw like at least 2? Or how many do we want everybody to have 2 and to just drop them as we go? Because it's gonna take us a couple rounds to drop, right?
No, it's gonna take us one if we're
One round?
If the dragon can pull it off.
I mean, we can put them all in a bag of holding and just dump the bag of holding.
We might want to aim them a little better, because then they're all gonna go in one spot. We might want to lob them.
Okay, so there are technically as many as 10 characters in your party. One of them though might be in a bag of holding, so they don't count. So that would be 9 that can be.
I would say
actively
1
doing
for each of
something.
us, and maybe a spare.
So 10.
10.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. Got it.
'Cause that gives us room for error if someone lobs and it goes wide or something like that.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's going to need dex throws of some sort, but
Yeah, and depending on how much stuff you're throwing down, some of it will just be rolling 1d100 off of each other just to see And I figure out just how many NPCs down below or other things that could be damaged, then get damaged and are no longer a threat to you when you get down there.
And it's not so much as damage as to get them to scatter to clear the area too a little, so that we have a landing zone. Because you're not, if a fire, even if it doesn't damage you, you're not going to stand there where fire just sprouted out. You're going to dodge out of the way.
True, if assuming that you're aiming to land where anybody might be.
Are we still doing ball bearings?
I don't know.
I mean, we said Molotovs and ball bearings. Might as well. So maybe a bag of those for each of us.
How
How expensive are they? You think one?
You do?
I have 1 bag of ball bearings.
You didn't use them all?
How large of an
Oh, you
area
got
does a
another
bag
one.
of ball
I
bearings
bought another
cover?
bag, 1,000 ball bearings, and they cover. Does it say? Let me look.
Because they're not going to spread like. You're going to basically chuck them down, and they're
normally
going to
it's just-
spread in 10 feet.
normally
So it's a 10-foot
yeah.
square. So we might want to like pelt those down too if we can. Can we put ball bearings in the Molotovs?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Technically.
Can we just do wine bottle sized Molotovs and pack them with ball bearings?
A wine bottle unfortunately costs at least $1 for the cheapo wine, versus the
That's
ale,
fine.
which was 1 silver.
That's fine. We got it.
I-
We 10 bottles of wine and then stuff them with ball bearings
Yep. Okay.
to make like what are they like shrapnel? Yeah.
Gee, dear God, we're making pipe bombs.
I just want to point out
Uh,
what's going to happen is they're not going to like go flying outward. What they'll do is they're going to roll outwards underneath their feet while they're in fire.
Yeah, they're going to be falling on their asses in fire.
Also,
They're going to
Fluffy.
stop, drop, and roll into the fire. This is actually quite. I like that plan.
Alignment
I like it.
change.
I feel that Kale would know stuff about this because his kingdom was besieged by guerrilla fighters. At some point, when he went with the opposition, he's like, "Oh yeah, they did shit like this."
And they didn't. Well, did they or he did get exiled? So that means their tactics probably did work eventually.
Well, yeah, I mean, they probably did like small strikes and then building up, to the final like knife in the back.
This is fine.
It's fine.
You can just take all vowels and split them all you want them.
All right.
If you're doing 10, that's like what, 100 per?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just mark that off for me.
I mean, I would put a whole bag of them in each of them. 1,000 per bottle. That would fit, right? It's a little tiny pouch.
I feel like that would limit the amount of room for the flammable bit.
There will be a little volume displacement.
Yeah.
That's why we're using wine bottles instead of beer bottles. Bigger bottle.
I mean, what kind of are we talking? Like these are just like
Meredith's
regular
hanging out.
750 milliliters?
Like,
or are we talking
because a beer
Carlo
bottle,
Rossi?
a beer bottle is small, but then the wine bottle is like 2-3 times the volume, right?
How
And
big's
while
a
you're
ball
discussing,
bearing?
Meredith is just sitting there with a bottle of wine, just chugging it. Or
Ball
she's already
bearings, I
working.
mean, they're like kind of pea-sized. But like, it says the baggie weighs 2 pounds.
Yeah.
And it covers, but they're like little pea-sized, so you might put a half a bag, like 500 in each bottle?
Okay.
Because we're not going to get the same if we're not going to get the same coverage.
what you're doing is that you're basically creating, instead of using the ball bearings themselves as weapons, you're using them as something that drops on the ground, stays together, and then scatters at a point.
See, that's the problem. What she just pointed out, we need to drop it outside of the bottles as well because it's doing 1 point of damage apiece. That's what Chris said earlier. If we put them in the bottle,
I think we need more than one bag because they only do 10 square feet.
Oh yeah,
So-
no, we can buy more. That's fine. I just think we need to have also, just like we can literally dump a bag out, and I think just go beep 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 to do the damage on as well.
Yep, that's what I was
I
saying
don't
that you're going to use them for.
Well,
Yeah,
plans are evolving.
The-
And
we're gonna have
changing.
to throw. We're gonna have to throw them
Why
like
not
the.
both?
We are doing both.
We're gonna have to
Yes.
throw them like we throw the Molotovs. Like maybe do the ball bearings first, and then do the Molotovs. Like as we get down lower.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have
'Cause-
one. We'll empty one out that we'll say that's the one that Shiori has. We'll just literally just shake it out and just have that one just be alone, and then we'll fill 10 of the bottles with them. I'll get 2 bags. Wait, no. Let's do 4 bags of ball bearings, and that means there will be 500 in a bottle. No. What's
and
the
then
math
how
on
many
that?
bags do we want for lobbing?
1 I thought would be enough. Do we need more?
Well, like I said, it only covers 10 square feet. So how big is this rooftop?
Well, here's the thing, though. Like,
you guys have yet to do any. You've
don't
looked
know.
at things through a telescope, which pretty much is just being blinded out by the light. You have not done any sort of reconnaissance nearby to tell where anything is there, or to tell
There's also
exactly how
another thing.
big this area is.
It's not going to just cover 10 square feet if you're dropping it from above. It's going to spread out more.
Well, we're gonna have to like sow them like seeds because if we just straight drop them, they're not gonna spread out as they fall. They're just gonna go straight down unless there's wind or
Yeah.
something moving them. So I was thinking we'd take a couple and like I said, sort of strew them about.
Okay, so 2
Well,
bags.
Yeah. Oh, we
Like
do 2
maybe
bags
take a
and do
round or
like
two to circle before we drop down, and I don't know.
kind of open them as we're like moving, basically, kind of to like a carpet
Yeah.
kind of style.
Will we want something more useful in the hammer other than spider climb?
Yeah,
Uh,
actually.
We
well,
looked at the list of shit. What was on there?
So wasn't there resistance or absorb? What was it? No, it wasn't.
It has to be a non-self.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be a
What?
target and a single action, I believe.
All right, so targeted single action. What level?
2 and 1 on the artificer. Thus list.
So first and second. So absorb elements is a self. So that wouldn't work.
I thought there was something else that we were.
Well, I mean, cure wounds is touch. One action, disguise self expedition retreat is a bonus action. Wouldn't work.
Cure wounds would work.
Featherfall if the oh that's a reaction that wouldn't work. Featherfall if the cat tower collapses.
Technically, one other thing we could also drop on them is we could drop 2 20 foot tall wooden ladders.
We could get some nets. I mean,
No, I have patches that had 2 of them that are
Hmm.
wooden ladders. I had 20 foot 4 feet. I'd go whoop. I got random shit and it's fucking useful.
I mean, well, enlarge reduce 30 feet. Enlarge reduce on a hammer. That's a one action.
It's not it can't be a target self, right?
But no, it's 30 feet, so it's got a range, and it's not
No,
a
I was-
self.
No, I was just
Ah.
asking in general, not that specific.
Let's see. Where I'll post the entire important part wherever it is.
Because we could load it with enhanceability.
That's a touch, though. I thought it had to be well, touch is
actually-
targeted, right?
Hold
Yeah,
on.
touch anyone that you can touch.
Hold on.
Yeah, spider climbs a
choosing
touch, and you have it on there.
First or second spell from the artificial list that requires 1 action to cast. Actually, actually doesn't say anything about can't be a self.
Okay.
What about like blur or?
Yeah, like it. I thought it did, but it doesn't.
Oh, good gods, everyone with blur.
That would be nice.
Wait.
Jesus.
Yeah, the creature, the creature conference, not you. So we just hand that around and go boop.
Hmm.
That is
Everyone with
fucked.
blurs.
And it gets 10 charges?
Yeah. Which is fun.
Like his vortex warp.
Vortex warp is bullshit.
I really thought it couldn't be self, but I guess that's something else.
Well, I mean, like absorb elements is self.
It is a react.
Oh, it's a reaction.
Both
Fuck.
elements is reaction, yeah.
Damn.
The only limiting factor is it has to be an action, sadly.
Hmm.
Blur definitely sounds like one of the best ones so far.
Wait, what are we on now? What part of the plan?
What to put in the hammer? If there's anything better on the hammer.
What is the limit?
Action.
Level 2 in action.
Level
Yeah,
2 in
1, 2
action.
action
Yeah, level
from
2 or
the
level 1.
artificial spell.
And anyone... Oh, it has to be on artificial. So
Yeah.
a druid can't put a spell in, even if the...
No.
You have to put it in.
Yeah, this is the hammer itself holds the spell.
I mean, like I'm looking at blur. I'm looking at a large reduce.
Okay.
Invisibility, if we needed to. Yeah. I don't
Make a hasty retreat.
know.
Hastily retreat down a 2,000 feet tall tower. Yeah, I know.
It's fine. It's fine. Well,
Yeah.
actually, you know, if that's the case and we need to make a hasty retreat, spider climb wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
You just climb down the tower.
I think hasty retreat would in that moment would be jump. 4 turns and you reach the bottom.
I mean, I could always have Featherfall as one of my spell slots.
Yeah, that might be good in case we need to jump off the tower. Honestly. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think blur is the best for combat use, at least. That or see invisibility.
That's true. That fucker might be invisible.
Lokar. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, I'm thinking that see invisibility might be a good idea. Because if someone casts greater invisibility, you can be like, no.
It's just like, no. Bonk.
And that's not
No.
concentration, I don't think, either. That's just target self, so you can just be like just pass it around and be like, boop. Just give it to like Phaedra first, so she can start just hammering at him while he's invisible, and everyone else start passing it around.
Yeah, she's pretty good at keeping attention, distracting.
Yeah.
Well, it has been with Phaedra, hasn't it? The hammer.
Yes, it has.
Oh, and it's not a concentration either.
Nope. It's not concentration lasts for an hour, but it's just self, so we'd still have to pass it around.
Still pretty good.
Oh yeah. I mean,
And we can pretty much affect everyone.
Would we? So here's the question that I have. Would see invisibility be more beneficial for the group to have, or would blur be more beneficial for the group to have? Because is there anybody else that could see an invisible thing? Because if
I
Nope,
can.
I
It's in
can't.
my. I get it for being a paladin of the. What's my subclass called again? I get it for my subclass to hunt invisible bullshit. So I can just dogpile on
the
them.
thing I have is the creatures don't have advantage attack rolls from me. It's all being
Yeah.
hidden.
Amunet has blind sight within 10 feet, but that's it, and that's that's within 10 feet. It's not a whole lot. I don't know. I'm for if we want to do see invisibility. I just want us to put the best option on the hammer, and I don't know what that is.
Me and Sylvie can hunt down invisible stuff. I'm gonna raid Sylvie anyway. I'll try my best to make sure she doesn't die, and if she dies, I'll resurrect her. It's fine.
If I know the general area, I might be able to just wave it away, basically.
Well, and the more you wail on him, the more he has to make is that that's not a concentration spell, is it?
I mean, if I hit him once with smites, he's gonna lose his concentration.
I don't know if improved invisibility.
All invisibility
Or is it improved?
All invisibility is concentration, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
One of them just lets you attack and cast spells while remaining invisible. So it'll be fine. If I hit them with like 60 damage, he's not gonna make a DC 30 con save, you know? I mean, if they could, I'd be like, okay, I'm not fighting this anymore. If that's what happens.
You're just like, okay, I'm out, bye.
Yeah, I mean, if you make a DC 30 con save...
And he had the wrong natural 20. That'd be the only way.
Yeah, natural 20, 40... that's a natural 20 plus, 20 constitution plus full proficiency almost. That'd be, pretty impressive. And then I'll just hit him again for 60 damage. So I mean,
to be fair, a person with a 20 Constitution at level 20 or plus 6 proficiency can make that with a 30 with a 19 or higher.
Yeah, it's still a 19 or higher. And I mean, if I really want to, I can throw Fear of the Small on there. So that's an extra 17 damage. I mean, they could make it. They're not going to make it twice. Probably.
I like that. They could make it, but can they do it twice?
Yeah. And I mean, even if they make it twice, they'd still be dead because they're a wizard, you know?
This is a caveat. This involves Frock hitting him.
Fuck you. I'll have advantage because Sophie will be a big girl, and I have advantage because she's a big girl.
No, do we trust?
Fuck you guys. I mean, technically speaking, you could just cast Fairy Fire, and that would solve the problem, even if they are invisible.
True.
We gotta know where in the room, though.
I mean, true, but if it's a spellcaster, which probably the only people who are likely to go invisible, he'll either be casting a spell and we'll see the origin, or he'll be saying stuff when he's casting. So you can just be like, I'll hold my action to cast the Fairy Fire when at the area where I hear someone casting a spell, you know?
So, just a reminder, remember when we were in the Dungeon of the Mad Mage and he summoned that big giant woman? We didn't hear anything. That's not true. We heard it coming from all directions, and we couldn't discern.
I think that was an effect of that specific area.
The lair action, yeah.
There, I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
To be fair, this area might also have lair action.
We don't know.
Fair.
But I mean, if that's the case, I'll just go hunting him with Sylvie.
There's a tower. It might be.
Yeah, we just need a lot of AoE.
Mm.
And we're back to Molotofs.
And we're back to tipping the tower.
You know,
I'm not going to agree to that. Sorry.
Guys,
that is last resort. We've all agreed.
I think I have some bullshit spells.
But I like that idea.
I mean, I'm not denying.
I want it to be first.
I like the idea too, but my character
I want it to
doesn't.
be first resort.
What if we sneak in there the day before? No, that's not the right spell. Where is my powerful spell? I have a giant area of effect spell. Where is it?
Yeah, but we don't have spells until we get rid of the anti-magic field. So we can't sneak in there and cast.
But they won't either, right?
I'm just saying, tipping the tower is just a backup last last resort option. I'm just saying I am preparing earthquake.
Okay.
But you have to
Okay.
assume that a 2,000-foot tower, it might not be affected by a little earthquake. It depends on how wide the base is and stuff.
I think structures take double damage.
I can weaken destruction from it.
Depends.
Yeah, and it has been
on-
described, and you saw through the thing that it is a tower that starts off as a pyramid shape at the bottom, so it's actually
And
quite structurally sound.
What's it made out of?
So, but
You
here's
don't
the
know.
thing, though. It doesn't matter how structurally sound a tower is. If the ground in which it stands upon is not secure,
Structurally sound.
Right,
Unless
break
If
it
it's if it's limestone, you ain't doing jack with a.
I mean, even if it's solid, like part of the core of the world or something like that, even then, if earthquake will affect it.
No, like that's why we don't have earthquakes in Pennsylvania. It's all limestone.
Yeah, but magic earthquake.
Well, there was
Forced
a
earthquake.
maybe 1 years ago, but it was centered like in New York City or something like that.
Yeah, but it wasn't enough to do anything. It jiggled my bed and that was it.
Yeah, and I felt it while I was at work and thought it was just one of the heavier people in the office walking by.
Yeah.
Now that my DC is high enough, I might get repelled too.
Did you just fat shame your work?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't. I'm a large woman myself, but I'm saying is that that's why when I assumed it was at first, I thought it was just one of the larger people walking nearby.
Bill, is that you?
I mean, when we had that earthquake, I thought Trevor had come home early and was fucking with me and like shaking the bed.
Yeah, I mean, that was the sensation. It didn't feel like the way Orcrix described. It just felt like somebody walking heavily.
I slept through a 4.8 whilst I was in Japan. Everyone in school the day after, oh my god, did you feel the earthquake? Oh my god, fuck, holy shit, I was so scared. I was like, when?
Earthquake?
When?
What? Oh? Okay.
Not as much damage as I thought it would be.
My question is, do we want additional Molotovs for like when we're beating down whatever the thing is?
Maybe. I mean, I think lighting stuff on fire, if it doesn't obscure our breathing, would definitely help with the tentacles, the vines. Because then we technically do continuous damage to them, so even if they heal, they'll heal less.
If one of the nodes though has the fire crystal activated, or if it's by a fire crystal, then it's not gonna do anything.
So wait, is my sword active for this fight?
According to the information you've gathered, it's very possible because that sword cannot be if it's the anti-magic is coming directly.
Is it
from
considered like an artifact level item that would
Yes.
not be affected? Okay.
Exactly.
Wait.
Then I still have the
The sword negates any
Sword of fuckery.
any resistance that the tar stand has based on its type of damage.
How big is whatever is her name's weapon? What's her
She's
name?
got a throwing thing. She's got like the
Yeah, she's
ring,
got
the
shock.
Yeah, but
Xena the
like,
warrior princess ring thing that you chuck.
Yeah.
yeah.
Chakra.
How big is that though? Is that like bigger than a hand? Is it like frisbee size? I don't know.
It's smaller than a hula hoop, slightly bigger than a frisbee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually size, yeah.
I was like, maybe I can just tape it to my fucking mall and then like, well, I won't be using it, but it'll still be doing.
So here,
the damage.
I'll hold the weapon and then you can swing me.
Yeah.
I'll hold the sword of
Oh,
light
my
and you
lord.
swing me. Cause I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hit anything with my shitty like.
So
Fuck
it's
y'all,
like
okay. I have an
so
11
it's like a
today.
swing with like Kale standing at size this doesn't work, but Kale standing on the incense sensor and then him just like spinning it around and hoping to hit, basically.
Oh, I have a potion of giant size. If I drink that, I can duct tape you to it, and then you just hold it out, and then like
But see, it's not going to work because we're going to be in an anti-magic field,
Ah.
and we have to take out we have to either take out or change the Tarston to.
Yeah.
I mean, the Molotovs will probably work.
It's really annoying that we can't deal with that without the swords.
Yeah.
I wish.
And
I
we
don't
we
know.
only have 3 of them. We have lightning, ice, and.
Yeah, weren't we supposed to get more of them?
Fuck it.
I mean, yeah, it'd be too
They're
much of a
currently
hassle at
they're
this
currently
point.
being used over in the node that's over in Neverwinter.
Well, I mean,
Nah.
we had wind and fire, right?
Wind of fire.
That's the
Yep.
Rhiannon
monk.
has wind.
Yeah, Rhiannon has wind, and
Adler
didn't
has
like
fire.
Adler have fire?
You guys
actually?
destroyed the Death
Yeah.
Sword. That would have helped you out here, the necrotic one.
Well,
well.
I'm sorry, that snake bitch we didn't trust her.
Well, speak for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't.
But I gave you the guys 2 swords really early on, and one character didn't ever
Yeah.
want to use them, and the other one, well, you guys didn't like him having it, so you got rid of it.
You know
To be
what?
fair, that sword made people rise from the dead.
True.
And
Hey, why are the swords so powerful? Because, like, what if I just enhance my mole with the...
Lograth built them from Chaosium, and Chaosium is the only thing that can counter
Yeah, but, like,
Tarstan because Tarstan is made
le-
from the same substance.
Yeah, but
He explained it a long
Lograth,
time ago.
he isn't a god, right?
He claims not to be one, no.
No.
He claims not to be one.
Yeah, whatever
Doesn't
that
matter, we
means.
kill him.
Whatever that means.
We can take him. Anyway, so, like, I presume Helm is more powerful than Little Dragon Boy, right? So, like, if God says this is holiest weapon, then, like, I can bonk.
But the
No.
gods don't give a fuck.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
gods
You
don't
should
have
know
anything
that.
to do with this.
To be fair, my God was like, you go fuck up Galen Cole, so he kind of cares, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but this isn't Galen Cole. This is the Tarstan. It's something different.
I mean, they're remotely connected. I don't know. It's fine. I'll just beat it so hard and cry.
So I have to throw this out here because my gut is going off, and I need to say something. Are we over planning and preparing for situations where we end up doing something too well and it fucks us?
Galen will probably show up. We should probably just assume that. Even if he
Well, to be
doesn't, it's
fair-
better that we assume it.
Well, hey, we don't have to
In
worry
that-
about wasting spell slots if we
In
can't
that
cast spells.
campaign,
Good point.
in that campaign, remember, we didn't know who Galen Cole was, so when he showed up after we had finished that thing, we did a bad thing.
I mean, not per se. He just wished there wasn't any trouble anymore. But I mean,
sort of per se. Anyway, but in this world, if he shows up, we'll fucking kill him.
yeah, I hope he does. I hope he shows up.
Bitch, I hope the fuck you do. You'll be a dead son of a bitch. I tell you what.
Oh, you what?
Yeah, please show up, man. We're gonna take you down. I have
I'm
all the
getting
best
nervous.
spells.
That's all. I'm just
I-
getting
I-
nervous.
Do you guys want to do extra damage? I'll give you guys extra damage. Do you guys want to never fail a saving throw? I'll give you guys that. I wish I was one level higher, to be honest. That way I have an AoE effect, but
After this
it's
fight,
okay.
maybe.
Yeah, after. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
What happens, happens.
Whatever.
Anyway, I guess.
actually, who uses shields?
I mean, Phil has
Phaedra?
one.
Go on, boss.
Why?
Sorry,
Yeah.
Pedro, obviously, yeah.
Will.
Sure.
Is Will's shield magical?
It's a sentinel shield, but it doesn't provide any plus.
Okay, so magical, yes. Fury, yours magical?
Mine's a Spellguard shield, yeah.
My armor isn't magical.
Yeah, well, I can't do anything about that. I've already used my
Damn
enhanced defense. I plan to use it on my plate armor now,
That's fair.
which means Yuri would lose 2 AC.
That's fair.
What's your AC if you lose 2 AC?
It's brings it down
33.
to 20
Okay.
with my shield still, but that's that's if the sword is working. It's 18 without the magic of the shield or the sword.
Hopefully we can get rid of anti-magic as fast as possible. But okay.
Would dropping the beads be considered a weapon attack?
I mean, it's projectile, I would imagine.
Well, like I said, because there's so many of them, if you're dropping them all on targets, instead of doing individual rolls, what we're gonna do is, basically, some 1d100s to see basically how many potentially hit the targets.
Yeah,
And
but
therefore,
like,
how much overall damage will be done, instead of trying to do it.
We're not doing
attack-
actual attack rolls, so buffing
not
an
with
attack
not
roll
with
isn't gonna
a
help.
1,000-piece thing, no. So
no,
How about we roll 1,000 times?
it
No.
doesn't
That'd be
affect the attack
No,
roll. It
no.
just affects the damage. So like they would do 1 extra d4 damage per thing that hits, which might be a lot of damage. Seeing they only do 1 damage, it basically doubles at least the damage output, if not triples. But I don't know.
Yeah, but that's only within a 30-foot radius, and
Yeah.
we're
I'll-
dropping it 500 feet.
Yeah, but I'll like dive.
Okay.
Into the anti-magic field.
We're yeeting ball bearings and also 1 goblin.
Yes,
Oh dear God.
one angry goblin.
1 very angry goblin. You just have to say yeehaw while you're falling.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Ah!
Oh,
Okay,
we're
we have
going
an
to more. We're
artificer.
going.
We have an artificer. Can't we make a nuke?
Yeah.
It would have to be
Yeah.
a magic nuke. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I
Like,
know- well,
do we?
no.
I
We
mean,
don't exactly have the ingredients to create a proper nuke, do we?
I mean,
A nuke isn't magical.
No.
yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't know how to
I
do non.
personally, I think
I mean,
that's a matter of opinion. I think all nukes are magical.
I mean, I have really good skill in Tinker's tools.
I mean, we can
But
get a barrel and make this happen.
Technically, I could create a nuke if we had the resources.
Can we just
Why
make
are we
like
considering this? Why is this even
I
so
mean,
Get a pan
dirty?
again.
Could we make like
I'll shut up.
napalm or like Agent
a
Orange?
tactical
like-
fucking nuke?
I'll shut the fuck up. I'll just bring in weird ideas.
So like I'm a war criminal, right? I mean, what's a little napalm?
A little napalm is, well, exactly what you'd expect. A little napalm.
Yeah, but then we might have to deal with, if it's on the playing field, we're going to have to deal with it later. I mean,
Yeah.
which we're already going to have to kind of deal with the fire, but we could probably put that out. Napalm is going to take a bit to go put out.
I mean,
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I
but
just thought of
napalm
something.
sticks and burns. This is just
Right.
gonna like
But it's
burn him a
safe.
little.
I just
Yeah,
thought of
well-
something.
What?
If the anti-magic field is gone later on, and like I don't know how wide this tower is, but the whirlwind spell tosses people in a random direction.
Oh, fuck.
Like if there's something up there and we don't want it up there, whirlwind could just bye, goodbye, so long, see ya.
The only
Oh,
concern
that is.
The only concern I would have is that we need to make sure it doesn't yeet the Tarston nodes all off in different directions.
Yeah, but I think I control where it
I mean,
moves.
if we get rid of the Tarston itself, the nodes die, right?
In theory, I think. Yeah.
Like the nodes when we were first fighting the Tarston.
Yeah, they all
We didn't
died after.
destroy all.
we got-
We didn't destroy all of them and destroyed the Tarston.
That's true.
Point of correction. The node was the bigger center. The other things
Yeah,
were just little
but-
branches. The little
Yeah,
branches, yes,
that's-
did
that's what
indeed
we're-
die
that's
after,
what
That's
we're
after
what
the
we're
big
referring
center
to.
I
one.
just had the wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the nodes is when it refers to the Tarston or something or something very specific. So that's the only reason I brought that up.
Too bad. Too bad it's anti-magic zone, and I'm pretty sure the crystal's more than 200 pounds. Otherwise, I could knock it off the top of the tower.
I just had a weird thought.
Hmm.
If
Your
we
thoughts are good.
negate, oh, I don't know if I want to say this with Chris in the room.
Okay.
That's what the Iron Rose's
That
chat is
was-
for.
I had an idea.
Oh no.
I don't know
Oh
how
yeah.
I feel about that.
When
Okay.
the player starts texting
Oh,
secretly.
no. The idea that even the GM's not allowed to hear this is.
Yeah. Well, not a. Yeah. I
Fine.
don't know.
That's always fine.
Let's see what it is, shall we?
I see Shuttle
All
is
right, let's
typing.
all collectively scream in objection. We're waiting for it. Oh no, it's a long message.
Here's what the GM also would like to know. Is there any other investigation or anything like that you wish to do? Is this the next day after a hero's feast? Because you did specify you wanted to do a hero's feast, yes?
Oh my.
Hero's feast, yes or no?
Yes.
Was
yeah,
there
we'll do a hero's feast.
any
yeah.
other investigation in the morning you wanted to get done prior to leaving with your new dragon companion?
Yes, I would like to try to see if they could see via telescope or if the dragon lady or somebody knows, like, I mean, obviously this is a tower that's been in a country for a while. Do we have,
No.
can we gather any sort of information on what's at the top? Like what the,
That's where the glow's coming from. The dragon lady has stated that there's some sort of
But prior to that-
light at the very
but prior
top.
to that, it existed and people could see and it wasn't blinding.
Yeah,
So
and basically, what the dragon lady would tell you, because she used to do flybys, is that when they finished building, like maybe 100 years ago, they'd finished like they had all sorts of like work camps and little villages around the base of the tower, and then eventually they people would be building, other people would be like maintaining farms and having other like lives down there. But they were building the tower, and then everyone moved into the tower area. All their needs then met, seemingly, because there was no evidence of farms after that. Everyone moved into the tower basically as one country, one city sort of stuff. And eventually, she said that the top, basically, a big crystal seemed to be growing and growing and growing. There's all sorts of vines that were hanging down on the side, and then the crystal started glowing different colors, and then finally, it's just a brilliant white light.
okay, I was a little distracted.
Yeah, sorry, we're discussing.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about us.
How big is the landing, basically?
Let's see. I have to go back to my map. Hold on. At the top of the tower.
Should we ask Chris about this, or should we just?
I mean, we can. I'll ask it.
Or should we just
I want
do
it.
it and see what
mean-
happens?
No,
We can ask the
She
thing we're
says
not
it's in
sure
the form
about.
of a hexagon. It's at least
It's a
60.
hexagon?
It's at least 60 feet. 60 feet one way and 80 and almost 90 feet another way. At least at the opening, she says. The opening is where the crystal is. There's more under things, and she says that the archers are typically on lower levels, like basically in platforms standing on lower levels. That she didn't notice if there's anything moving around up there. I didn't notice any archers up there, but she said that she has occasionally witnessed the things that you guys call death dragons getting up and flying from the top.
That's fine.
That's concerning. So we might need to have fly ready on us too. I mean, the main thing I was I mean, I can ask Riz. The main thing I was curious about is if we do that. Not so much the basically what Turtle asked is what I was curious if it would do anything. So do you guys want me to ask?
I would just ask. Hold on.
About the thing
Yeah,
being a
ask
thing.
that thing. If
Yeah,
that
ask
thing
that
is, yeah,
thing.
that's the
Is
question.
that a
to ask.
thing that we can have that uses
Okay.
that's the
spell
question we
function?
Okay.
and
So the question I have for you, Grizz, is the Void Stone artifact grade?
Yes, it is. It is a major artifact.
Oh,
one
that
more
was
pow-
DM's doom.
Or was it
however,
our own?
remember, the stronger the spell you put into it, the more likely it is to backfire. Also, while it can't be destroyed necessarily by the thing, that doesn't necessarily mean that the spells from it can't be then sucked away by the Tarston. Because that's what you remember seeing. What the Tarston did is it actually, instead of, it wasn't simply a magic negation field. It was more of a spell gets cast, spell gets pulled into the Tarston, and the Tarston absorbs it.
Yeah, I'm gonna think no then on what we were planning by that.
So
I don't know.
So basically,
if it's already absorbed something.
So basically, the it's a thing that absorbs magic, rather than simply negating it.
Yeah, but what
But it has the
happens
same
to the
general
magic that it
effect.
absorbs?
It probably heals it. It probably causes more things to happen that are not good for you. Basically, you
Then
don't
I'm
want...
attacking it with a quote unquote magic weapon, and that's gonna work.
Except that's the thing, that the beauty of the swords. They have this because of their creation. Lograth tried explaining at one point before you joined in.
It's the material, not the magical effects.
Yeah, he basically said the war before time. That's why he used to be sought out to create magical weapons, because he knew how to deal with Chaosium. Other people hadn't figured out how to do it without getting themselves poisoned.
Technically, at the very least, your hilt would be made out of fucking Chaosium. You could beat it at the hilt.
Yeah.
Just hit it with a really short stick. Go, you can do this, Kale.
I poke
Sorry.
it with the stick.
No, I just feel that it's kind of shitty that we're dependent on me, who is not a melee character, an NPC that, and a player that's not here.
Yeah, to be fair, they were supposed to go after other, they get other weapons, but they decided to put it on characters who were not in the active party, and then those characters got recruited to kill another Tarston node, which is necessary to completely destroy the Tarston in the first place.
So it's my fault now?
Ah! No, it's not what I meant.
I don't think so.
No, sorry.
You made it, Chris. You did make it so that we couldn't transfer them easily between characters.
They are.
You made the swords very specific.
Also, they were kind of locked into specific types of characters, and those specific type of characters didn't either exist in the party, or that specific person didn't want that type of sword.
There are. Never mind. Well, that's why he actually offered to build you your own swords, but you said, no, we're not going to go harvesting Chaosium for you. We're just going to go search for the swords that already exist, which I warned you that had specific properties already. He could have made you your own weapons, but you didn't want to trust him.
That was not made.
He said that you can go to if you went to the Chaos to harvest Chaosium, he'd make you weapons.
You did say that was vocalized, correct?
Yeah,
but you should be flexible enough to not fuck your players.
That's what I've been trying to explain.
I hate that, but that's why I don't want to do you DMing anymore, because you're not flexible enough.
I consider it very flexible because I gave you multiple paths to accomplish your goal. You just happen to pick pick one that's not as seemingly as flexible as you'd like.
You always give the players an out.
I do. That's
even
what I
if
said.
they choose. But okay, so we have non-melee character, NPC, absent character. That's not a way out.
I also don't want to railroad people into saying, here, this person has to be in this party because of this, or saying, no, you can't destroy that sword because you're going to need it later. So that's That's
You could also say, well, this sword might match these criteria, but so and so could use it because it's needed. You have to be able to alter things to allow us to do stuff.
God damn it. Well, we'll get into this later. We're in the middle of a game still. Unless you guys want to end it here.
Well, we only have 5 minutes left.
Yeah, I gotta get up at 6 tomorrow, so. Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed.
Okay.
Alright.
Turning off stream.